East Christian over Austin East 49-0. Farragut 28, Bradley Central 20. Farragut gets on the boards for the first time. Carter 27, Northview Academy 24. Fulton walloping South Doyle 40-16. Gibbs doing a lot more walloping Campbell County 59-0. Rockwood walloping Greenback 46-12. Knoxville Halls 41, Heritage 17. Oliver Springs 21, Midway 7.
And welcome to the Friday night scoreboard here, the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard. I'm sorry for all the lag time. I know our game's been over since 9 o'clock. My help is on the way, and we'll get rolling here fully. Interesting night of football. I will tell you that I was worried that we were going to have some upset callers calling in when we first started tonight. When I heard that Central was up 14-7 over Oak Ridge, that kind of caught me off guard. But now Oak Ridge has won that football game 42-14. For a lot of the people, I think that might have put some of the local. Might have put them over the edge a little bit. DB with the big win tonight at Elizabethan, 28-21. Coalfield rolls over Oakdale, 61-0. Powell beats Carnes, 38-0. Rockwood over Greenback, 46-12. And Jones, I know you're in the back there. It seems like forever Greenback was dominating everyone down there. And now they're getting the last laugh here. Halls with a big win tonight over Heritage, 41-17. Knox Catholic loses to NBA tonight, 24-23. I'd love to know, Jones, if you can find out that for me. I want to know Catholic's record the last 3 years. Yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit. Yes, sir. I love it. Mr. Queener.
Yeah, Mr. Cox.
Not much. I'm in much better shape this week. I don't have anybody interrupting the show sitting up here beside me.
Understand that. Listen, everybody talks about Beard and all this. I believe Beard might be a little overrated this year.
I would say that their fan base over there on Kingston Pike is not real happy with their performance.
Some coaching moves have been made in some games that's questionable. Just me. Just as a fan looking on, and I just know there's a lot of hype. And I don't understand something else. How come Grace is not ranked in any of the polls or anything?
David, I think that has a lot to do with just what it looks like for the last 3 or 4 years for Grace. You kind of got to earn a little respect. I think when you go 6 or 7-0, they 7-0 now.
Hey, I don't know what they're. I know they're undefeated. I don't know. Did they play tonight? I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, they played tonight, and they were beating Austin East 42-0 last I heard. But my point is, I think you're 7-0. But if you beat Webb as their next game in 2 weeks, I think if they beat Webb is known across the state of Tennessee, and you beat that 8 and you go 8-0, then you're going to start getting a little respect behind your name. When you win 2 or 3 games for 2 or 3 years, and you start winning again, people are not as quick to jump on the bandwagon where, Jody could be 2-7 and they'd rate him top 10 in the state for basketball.
Yeah, maybe so, but I've not been a huge Grace fan in the past. I like the coaching staff that's over there now. I think they got a really good coaching staff over there, and wherever the Price boys have coached, man, they've won. I mean, all you got to do is look what they left, and Campbell County's not faring too well this year. And then I really like the Weber kid that's over there. His dad is probably one of the all-time best football players to come out of Clinton. So he was just one of the toughest running backs in a group of quite a few that's been there. But his dad was one heck of a running back at Clinton back in his day.
Yeah, he was. And I'll tell you what, I mean, he scored another touchdown tonight. And he looks good in pads for a sophomore. DJ's walked in with his Price is Right shirt on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I didn't know, and I didn't get to call a couple of weeks ago after watching Greenville and Alcoa play. I thought Greenville's coaching staff just flat out outcoached Greenville over there the other night. I mean, that's just what I thought. That's going back a couple of weeks. I didn't get a chance to call in, but I just thought Alcoa's coaching staff just outcoached Greenville that night. But hey, I'll call back in college football because I ain't drinking y'all's Kool-Aid down there. And I'll tell you something else I ain't drinking. I ain't drinking this Oliver Springs beating Cofield.
Oh.
I'm not drinking that. I like Oliver Springs, don't get me wrong, but man, that game, I don't think you could flip a coin and pick on that. Oliver Springs will have to play an exceptional game, and man, it's hard to beat Cofield. It's hard to beat them, and I'd say Brad Jones would probably agree with me.
Now, that game's in Oliver Springs, right?
Yeah, I think it is. And that's a Thursday night game on 6-star preps, I believe.
6-star. You liked that, didn't you? They couldn't give out the 5-star player of the game. They had to give out the 6-star player of the game.
6-star, man. 6-star. So, but that'll be the Oliver Springs and Cofield game. I mean, that's all. I think will probably be the only game that night because it is a TV game. But you ought to not be able to get within a mile of that place down there. There ought to be so many people down there, and that ought to be a heck of a ball game. But sometimes when you're expecting a heck of a ball game, you don't actually get it. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, that's true. Now, hey, tell DJ and tell the viewers here what you mean by the 6-star player of the game, because I just got it. What's that mean on a text? So what do you mean by that?
Well, what that means is the Thursday night game has a 6-star player. That's what it is.
A 6-star player of the game.
Okay. Okay.
Not 5-star or 4-star. A 6-star.
A 6-star.
That's the way I understand it anyway. That's what I've heard 2 or 3 times. They give a ball cap out, and there's a 6-star player of the game, or it's got another name with it too, but it's a 6-star player.
So you're saying Bunch is going to be that 6-star player of the game?
Yeah. That's so we'll see what comes out down there in a couple of weeks. But I've seen a lot of those Cofield and Oliver Springs games, and I've called a lot of them, and man, it's just hard to beat Cofield, guys. It's hard to beat them. It's hard to, it's like we always say, it's hard to bet against Alcoa and Maryville. It's hard to bet against Cofield in that game. It just really is. But now, Oliver Springs got a good football team this year, and they've had some in the past too. And there's been some knockdown, drag out wars. That's a big.
Hey, David, I was told, tell Mr. Queener he's right. Oliver Springs needs to be reminded they lost to a bad Kingston team.
Yeah, they did.
Lost to a bad Kingston team.
Yeah, they did.
And I'm not saying Kingston's a bad team, but this team compared to other Kingston teams in the past is not what
Kingston is.
What Kingston is. But they beat Oliver Springs.
They did beat Oliver Springs.
They did beat Oliver, and that's why I'm saying that game they'll be if I was going to pick a game to go, if I was only going to go to one high school game this year, that'd be the game I probably would pick to go to. I wouldn't watch it on being on TV. Won't do it. No justice. You need to be there.
And I've said it.
I've not watched the show every Friday night. I've not been here to do that. Have you heard from Eric? Has Eric called in any?
No, we've not heard from Eric. I don't know what's going on there. At one time he was a house divided with Cofield, and
Well, at one time he was an Oliver Springs fan, then he flipped over to a Coalfield fan. So who knows if he shows up to the game, what he'd be wearing. There ain't no telling with him. So when you talk college football night, I'll try to call in because we got. I'm just not drinking the Kool-Aid yet.
Well, we'll see. It's Nico's time.
Well, I'll leave you with this, and I won't make any other comments other than this. What you got in the second half against Oklahoma, could you get that the whole ball game Saturday night? And I'll tell you why when I call back to talk college football.
All right, buddy. We miss you.
All right, buddy. See you.
All right, see ya.
So far, Farragut and Bradley Central has been the only game. It's been blowout Friday.
It has.
It's blowout Friday. Coach Ryan.
Coach.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Coach?
Doing good. How are you?
We're doing good, man. I like the way you handle business, Coach, man. You let Central get happy for a minute there, didn't you?
Well, we did. We let them get happy, and we didn't play as well as we would like in the first half. But I think you saw in the second half we were able to, play the way we want to play. We obviously were able to move the ball on offense and play suffocating defense and score 35 in a row. So that was big to see the boys respond from that.
I was walking out of the Austin East Grace game. I went over there for a little bit, and I was walking out, and they said 14-7. And I was like, oh, wow. And then all of a sudden, I hear 35 to yeah. I was like, okay, the switch got flipped.
It did.
Coach, who played well for you?
We were able to, like I said, first half, we didn't play well. We gave up a big explosive play to them, a long touchdown, and then their corner did a great job of baiting us into a pick six. He played 10 yards off and then drove on a hitch. But then the second half, we just kind of settled down. We did a good job, as coaches, of getting our guys in a better position to be successful with, obviously, the offensive play calls. And then defense just kind of buttons everything up. And, we rattled off 35 in a row. So, like you said, it was kind of a big shot.
Hey, Coach, explain what it's like to have an athlete like Will. They can run and catch a ball that's uncatchable for a touchdown.
Yeah, well, it's a luxury. I mean, Will's got great linear speed, number one. He can really take the top off of a defense. And the good news is he's so fast, I think guys sometimes underestimate, when the ball's in the air, just how fast he can move. And, traditionally some of those balls may be overthrows with other kids, but, Will finds a way to goes and get them. And, we were able to throw him a little kind of stutter move there, and I thought it was an overthrow as well, but he went and got it. But Blaine threw a great ball. They obviously have a great relationship, so Blaine knows, the touch to put on the ball and how deep to throw it, and that was big right there.
Coach, the numbers that Presley and Maddox are putting up for Oak Ridge and Clinton right now is impressive. Talk a little bit about just, the talent level that you see right now from those two kids. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You got two of the best receivers anywhere are right here in Anderson County.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you look at both of them. I mean, number one, both of them have great speed. We saw the Maddox kid last week. It kind of shocks me. He caught a hitch route, and both of them catch a hitch route and go 80. And that's what's big about both of them. They can both catch a hitch route, a 5-yard throw, and go 80. And then both of them can go get it, take the top off of a defense, and both of them have some length to them. That's another thing too, is both guys have some length, which means they have a good, wide catch radius, and there's really not, there's really a lot of ways you can use their skill set, whether it be in the slot. Clinton had Maddox play some tight ends, and that got him on a one-on-one on our safety. So, and we've moved Will in the slot every now and then a little bit to get him one-on-one on some safety. So, I guess they're also versatile as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Coach, I said when you were 0-2, you were going to be 5-2. Keep proving me right.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, you did. You said that. We were 0-2. You said we were going to be 5-2. And
yes, he did.
Got one more game to play. Farragut obviously struggled a little bit this year, but they're also young too. They're a young football team, and I think they'll come up here next Friday kind of fired up. It's a traditional old school rival game, Oak Ridge and Farragut, from way back in the day. So we'll see if we can keep trucking along. So
hey, Coach, he brought up the Maddox kid out there in Clinton.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I seen you change, or I don't know who was in charge of the change, but I liked it. Was it just Will said, bump that, I'm going out there to guard this kid, he's not getting anything else?
Well, I mean, Will went out there, and we had kind of repped that in that situation. He may have to play some defense because, you know, he does have the speed and explosion to stay with him. So that was kind of planned. I think the other thing with Will, too, you know, he was excited about that during practice, about potentially playing some defense, and he did a great job, you know, guarding him in the goal line man situations. And then, you know, had the one call on the fourth down where he kind of pressed him off the ball. And, you know, they decided it was a, you know, PI or whatever, which was kind of questionable. But that was kind of a plan. And, you know, like I said, if we end up seeing them again, we may try to use the same model.
Yeah, no doubt. It worked good. Shout out to you, Coach, your coaching staff, and all your players. Like I told you, man, I love what you're doing with those boys. I mean, you get them riled up. I had some of your boys on my show Wednesday, and the way I explained you as one of the most exciting, exuberating coaches in the state of Tennessee, and I love what you do, Coach.
Well, we appreciate you guys, too. We appreciate y'all giving the boys a platform to, you know, be themselves and, you know, get some media exposure, and we really appreciate it, and so do they.
Hey, Coach, stay hot. Good luck to you, man.
Yeah, we'll see y'all.
All right,
see you, Coach.
Yeah, bye.
There was no way anybody catches that ball. That blame through.
I wish we could get the highlight of it up.
I'm gonna see if I can get it. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah, I don't. I'd like to see it. Obviously, you know, you got to see it. And
Two people's guarding them. They're both running down the field. The ball looks like he said overthrown. The next thing you know, this Will jumps in his Porsche and geared down one and got away.
Doesn't hit it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Oh, Farragut won.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they won.
So that's their first win of the season, right?
Oh, wow.
And Bradley Central's the team that got the transfer.
Right. Hold on, did they lose the transfer or they got
No,
the
they
transfer?
gained the transfer from Cleveland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
After Cleveland won. So, gosh, Campbell County got beat 59-0 by Gibbs.
It was a Friday night blowout. I mean, I've only seen one good game, and it was Farragut and Bradley County.
Yeah.
That's everything else looks like it's pretty much a blowout.
West was up on Alcoa 10-7, or 10-7. They scored 21 unanswered.
Wow. Like the Oak Ridge game tonight.
I think West, well, I can't say it on the air. I think West's lack of offense is starting to catch up with them against elite playoff teams when time comes.
Right.
Yeah, when the time comes. Oliver Springs 28, Midway 0.
Yeah.
We'll go to the line here. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, fellas, this Roger.
Roger?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, boss?
The beard football. What's going on over there? You think they're going to have to go fund me for some more players again?
That was
I mean, it's not good.
That was disturbing. That score?
I don't know. And Roger, I'll answer this question best I can. I don't know that when you do what they're doing and you have as many kids come from other areas that there's a lot of pride in the program. I think a lot of Oak Ridge kids grow up wanting to walk down the stairs.
A lot of.
I think Anderson County kids want to run out of the barn and
right.
fireworks.
Yeah.
I don't know that Kingston Pike is producing a brand of football that has been a Bearden brand of I want to grow up and be a Bulldog.
Right.
And they didn't look like they had much fight or much pride the other night.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
I mean, and it could have been 80-something to 10. That third touchdown they scored, I don't know they had all their starters in.
Wow.
You know, and it was 42-21.
Yeah.
I don't know they had all their starters in. So, I don't know, caller. It ain't good. You got a kid that's been recruited to Bearden?
No, he His GPA is too high. He can't get over there.
He said his
GPA is too high. Oh, gosh.
That was a good one. That was good.
He must be at Farragut then.
No comment.
No comment. Oh, shit. Well, Britain, they have a great coaching staff. They have great athletes. I think to touch on what Josh said, a lot of these schools have, pride, and they're gelled together, played a lot over the years together, and I think eventually they'll pull it together. We'll see what they do when they get to the playoffs. They still got a playoff run to go.
And if they don't win against Cleveland, they will be on the 3 seed, which will put them on the wrong side of that bracket.
Ooh.
So the Cleveland next week's a huge game.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Next week's a huge game.
Wow.
Well, Roger, man, we appreciate you calling in. Keep us updated week to week on Bearden and Farragut.
I always will.
All right. Super Bowl Saturday.
Get it.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On the Oliver Springs game,
Yes.
it was 28-20.
Okay, 28-20 on the OS game.
Final score 28-20.
Yeah, that's what I got. 28-20.
Hey, it's good to hear from you. I hadn't heard from you all year.
Yeah, I know.
How you been?
I've been doing okay. How about you guys?
We're doing good.
Doing
Doing
good.
good.
Well, Oliver Springs has got Whitwell
Yep.
and Cofield coming up.
Is it Whitwell bye week, Cofield?
I'm not sure on that, but I was looking at Whitwell tonight, and they was getting beat pretty bad by Bledsoe County. Yeah, they was getting beat pretty bad by Bledsoe County. So, if they lost, which I'm sure they did, that was late, and that would be their first loss. And then
that would be Whitwell's first loss?
that would be Whitwell's first loss.
Wow.
Yeah, they were 6-0, I think, coming in.
Well,
They were ranked like third or fourth in the state, I think. And I think Oliver Springs is ranked somewhere around fifth in the state.
yeah, I like state rankings, but I really started getting into those about week 8.
Exactly.
Weeks, it's kind of hard now with the way the games shake out and the region is kind of planned. But yeah, you're right. They've got Whitwell, and then they take a week off, and then they come back and play on Thursday night, October 24th against Coalfield.
Yeah, that's a rivalry Thursday game, yeah.
Hey, who do you have in that game? If you were to pick right now, Oliver Springs or Coalfield, who would you take?
Well, it's at Oliver Springs. Well, I don't know. It'd be a hard one to pick, but Oliver Springs has played pretty good this year, and I think they could. I think they could possibly win it.
I think they can win that football game as well, caller.
It's gonna be a ball game.
I believe it'll be a really good game, but if they come to play and play a really good game, I think they can win it.
Yep, I agree with you. Hey, good to hear from you, buddy. I was wondering about you a couple weeks ago, or last week. I actually asked Brad, and so good to hear from you.
Yeah, I think this is my first time calling in.
It is, and we want to hear from you more often. You've been a long-time loyal guy, and you're always got good information.
Okay, bud. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
I'm good.
We'll go ahead and talk about that a little bit. History tells you a lot of what you need to know about these matchups.
Right.
But I don't know that Oliver Springs has ever, well, not ever. I don't know if Oliver Springs in a while has gone into a Coalfield game with so much confidence.
Right.
There's a big difference in going in a game hoping to win.
Right. versus knowing you got a big chance to knock them down.
No, we can win this game.
Right.
Yeah, and it was. You can say what you want to. There was a lot of attention put on beating South Pittsburgh, and Kingston got them at a good time.
Yeah, they did.
Kingston was a hungry football team for their coach.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because
he was gone the week before, came back, and they got those new lights. I'm telling you, that's what beat off of Springs.
The lights.
I'm telling you, them lights beat off of Springs.
Oh, that's funny. Jett might be down there in Kingston right now trying to figure out how to change their lights.
I got a picture of him trying to wire them up.
That's right. That's right. Where is our boy tonight? So, did we lose a caller? So anyway, but yeah, that's going to be a big game.
I'm a huge fan of both of them, right? Know a lot of the boys on both sides, the coaches. It's going to be in Oliver Springs, which is good for Oliver Springs. And like you said, the confidence that they have going into that game, I think is going to be great. Cofield is Cofield, right? They have a program like we just talked about. These boys grow up to be Yellow Jackets, one heartbeat. And it hasn't changed, and it's never going to change, in my opinion, with them. And they're always going to have a stellar program. So
that goes back with pride with what you're wearing on your chest.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be hard for me to pick, but if I had to pick.
Let's talk later.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Coach Justin Long.
Coach Jay Long.
What's up, Coach?
What's going on, guys?
3 in a row for the Falcons.
Yeah, did some good things tonight. Felt good about what we did. Proud of the guys' effort. I made a few plays, so just hoping to keep it going.
Nice.
Hey, we're buddies. You ain't got to go in that coach speak so quick. I mean,
you know how it is.
Come on, man. He went straight coach's hat on me.
He went ESPN on you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, no, seriously, a lot of good things come out of Fulton. Culture's changed for the good. Winning 3 games, 4-3 right now. Next week going to Seymour. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and then a bye week. Hey, talk a little bit about a few of your kids. You know, obviously we know some of them, but talk a little bit about it. I'll tell you what somebody told me the other day from Anderson County. Fulton scares me to death because their athletic ability and speed was frightening when we played them. Talk a little bit about your kids.
We have those guys that can make those plays, but I think what's been key for us has been our offensive line. Offensively, I'm speaking offensively, I think our offensive line has done some things for us to allow us to establish a run game that can kind of open up the passing game. And, Al's been steady Eddie for us this year, just consistently getting, plays. And, where he's grown a little bit is just, when he gets hit for 2, he falls 4 for 4.
Yeah.
And just doing that. So he's done some great things there. Just a guy, you got to find ways to get it to him. And I've just really been impressed with our defense. Coach Brown, veteran guy, glad he's on our team. He's an old school kind of no-nonsense guy, and the guys have bought into what he's asked us to do. Just hoping to keep it going. Another reason opportunity coming this week, so we definitely need to get this one.
Coach, obviously defense is talked a lot about at Fulton High School, and I was looking at some of your stats. You gave up 3 points in regulation, 14 points in regulation, 14, 8, and 16. So that defense must be playing pretty solid.
Yeah, and, it's pretty, impressive what we've done, but I think it's just a lot of buy-in on the guys' part. We try not to cut as much slack on the details and the fundamentals, and we really preach just playing the next play and not worrying about the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Hey, good luck to you. It's good to hear from you. I know you're busy and you got the after dark show?
Well, if Russell Mays wants to do it tonight, we'll get it cranked up.
Oh, he'll be ready. He's 3 in a row. He's feeling it.
Yeah.
He's feeling it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to take a road trip next weekend to Seymour. I don't have anything going on.
Yes, sir. Good. Looking forward to seeing you.
Hey, proud of you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, if you need something, let me know, Coach Jay.
Hey,
Yes,
Coach
sir,
Jake,
will do.
Coach DJ Pendergrass, make sure you tell Al I love him.
Will do.
All right.
All right.
I
Thank
got
you,
to
Jake.
coach
See you,
Al
bud.
when he was 4 years old, man.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I would think it was his first football coach. I used to go to his house every day to prepare him to play quarterback because I didn't know what I was going to have. I wound up having one of the best teams in the world.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that, and I was looking at that earlier today, that's why I brought that up. When you start giving up in this day and age, 14,
Yeah.
3, 8, 7, 16, your defense is good.
Absolutely.
Because it's hard to hold teams at 3 and 7 and 14
Yeah,
with the
absolutely.
way people play offense now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, I can remember David and I used to talk on the show, Oneida. I mean, Oneida was one of those that, you know, for years, 7, 10, 14, 7. And they were all, you know, when Lambert was there, and
Yeah.
they were always good. So, well, DJ, let's jump out and take a quick break here on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. Mr. Jones, you ready?
You got to send us your highlights, guys. We're playing right here live on TV. Send in those highlights.
Yeah, I don't know that, Brian, I don't know that he's up here. They might still be unloading, so I guess we'll keep talking here.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Coach Gray. We're going to go middle school real quick.
Okay.
Coach Ryan Gray, Robertsville Middle School, is getting ready for a state championship. He plays Spring City at Blankenship Field. 6:30. All you Oak Ridgers, get out, pack the ship. We want to make sure we give all the support to Robertsville and make sure we can be there. They have a dynamic team. Mir Porter is on that
Yeah.
team, and a lot more great, phenomenal kids. So excited about that. In Spring City, they're always Spring City.
So, what division is that?
Good question. I don't know.
Because does Norris? I thought Robertsville beat Norris earlier in the year. Is Norris in a different division?
Well, I
must
know
be a different
Robertsville just
league.
beat Norris pretty bad.
Yeah.
Last week or the week before last.
Okay.
Yeah, they went to Norris and won, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
I'm telling you, I had a great time, and it was one of those. If Grace would have lost,
Right.
it would still been a fun atmosphere for your son to play in, fun to watch.
Right.
But you know, Robertsville and Grace played each other, and it was 64-58.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was crazy score.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So to know how good Robertsville is, and to watch that game and watch Grace play, Oak Ridge and Grace are probably in good hands for a couple more years.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, and LP's
agree.
good. He's big. He can
Yeah.
run. He can throw it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
he's really good.
Absolutely.
So
Shout out to UA Rise out there. Guys, go get signed up. UA Rise, Oak Ridge, flag football. It is the only one in Tennessee, and they're on their 4th season coming up this year. So shout out to UA Rise football, flag football, Oak Ridge. Get signed up if you want your kids to play. They have a winter league coming up, and they also have a girls league.
Oh, do they?
Speaking of girls league, while we're still on here, we're not taking a break. Anderson County's done revved up and got their flag football girls ready to go already. So I think I'm gonna go out to Clinton and see if I can recruit some girls to play on the high school
get you a
team.
little flag
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
They'll get you a fireworks show. It'll be a big time. All right, I got Mr. Jones back up here. I need a quick commercial break. We need to get these people that help us pay these bills a quick. All right. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Jonathan,
Hey.
glad to hear you back in the studio tonight, buddy. I guess you've been out there to Joe Hollingsworth's place at the Pearl dining out on Saturday nights or something.
Hey, I was here last Friday night. Where were
It was the
you?
week before last.
Yeah, I had to take a week off. I had to go win a golf tournament.
Oh, I got you then. I got you there.
I can't afford that new Aspire. That's out of my tax bracket.
Me and you both, brother. But I'll probably try to check it out eventually, though.
Yeah, I need to as well.
But I was going to speak a little bit on the Clinton-Anderson County game there. I know, God, when Cody was back in school, they had a boy there that played for Clinton there, and I think he transferred up to Anderson County by the name of Curtis LaRue. But they've got another one of them LaRues up there right now. That guy's a bolt of lightning.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's fast
And strong.
and strong. That's right.
Okay, so he's super quick and strong as well.
Yeah, it ain't like he's just a runner. I mean, he is a true, like, he can run you over, he can make you miss, and then he can outrun you.
Yeah.
So it's all three phases of that.
Wow, I know there when I was listening to it there in the first half there, I don't know how many carries he'd had, but he was averaging like 12 yards a carry. I said, wow.
I can believe it. And he would have went for 99 yards against Fulton, and he got called back for holding.
Wow.
Oh, okay then. But I'm a dragon for life there. But I mean, you got to tip your hat to Anderson County there. I think they're solid football team there, and I think they can make another run at the state championship.
It looks like it.
I've said it all year. I think Anderson County could go undefeated and win a state championship, and I think if they don't, I would be actually a little disappointed.
Yeah.
I think that's how good they are. Greenville's not the Greenville of the Ballard days. Elizabethton might have. This might be the worst team Elizabethton's had in 10 to 12 years.
Wow.
Now, is that where Jason Witten's brother's at?
Yes.
Yep.
Sean Witten is the coach there. They're down. Their best wide receiver transferred to Greenville. But like I say, it don't matter how good a wide receiver is if you ain't got somebody to throw it to him.
That's right.
Got to get somebody to get it to you.
Yeah.
That's for sure there.
Yeah, I just
Now,
think
what was the final score? Did Oliver Springs win or get beat tonight?
Oliver Springs won 28-0. Is that
28.
right?
I heard it was 28-20.
Hold on, I got an Oliver Springs text here. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Well, I've not seen it on the ticker there coming. I've not seen an Oliver Springs score.
Yeah, I think it was 28-20 final score, if I'm not mistaken.
28-20?
I thought that's what it was. Thought that's
Okay,
what it was.
what was the score of the Oliver Springs game? 28-20.
Yeah.
Hey,
I thought it was 28-0, but I heard 28-20.
Call us back in just a second. I got Coach Gillum on the phone.
Oh, okay, good deal then. Let's see what he has to say there. I'm sure he's going to be bragging on that LaRue kid there. But all right, appreciate you guys, Jonathan.
Thank you, bud. Coach Gillum, I had to kick a Clinton fan off the phone so I could talk to you.
I got you.
He's worried about LaRue, how fast he is and everything, and he used to be at Clinton. You know, his daddy used to be at Clinton, all that good stuff. But he's a faithful caller and a good listener and a good man. But talk a little bit about your team tonight and how well you're playing football right now.
It was still frustrating night. There was a lot of penalties that was affecting the game as far as rhythm on either side of the ball for us. But take the penalties off. The kids played well. Offensive line played really well. LaRue was awesome. Very limited carries, over 200 yards. And, you didn't really feel like we had a ton of offensive reps. But the receivers played well, had big games. The quarterback played well, had big games. I think he threw for over 200, but only had, I think he was 11 for 13. So, again, limited attempts. LaRue, I think, just had 13 or 14 attempts for over 200 yards. So those are really explosive nights for both of them and the receiver staff. But the O-line was really the name of the game in the run game. And my wide receivers, perimeter blocking, getting LaRue outside at times. So big night for everybody on offense. Defensively, Maddox kid, really one of the better receivers I've seen in the last 15, 20 years. Caused us some problems. We doubled him most of the night, tried to make him non-factor, but they string some first downs together, and without him getting the ball, when he did touch it, he did big things with it. And again, we had a lot of defensive penalties that kept some drives alive and really stretched out drives. It didn't always turn into points for them, but the big thing was it kept our offense off the field.
Hey, Davey, I've got to interrupt you and ask you, are these live ball fouls or dead ball penalties?
Little both. We had one dead ball on a fourth, would have been 4th and 10 or so for him. That extended about an 8-minute drive for him. When a kid went over to help one of those kids up and
he smacked our hands, and our kid told him that he heard footsteps, and 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, and next we don't get the ball back the whole first half. So, rivalry game, chippy, those type things. So we took the worst end of it.
Yeah, I watched Clinton play Oak Ridge last week. I got there maybe halfway through the second quarter, and I watched that in a little bit of third quarter. Is there more penalties being thrown this year? Because that game had no rhythm. It was miserable to watch.
It was ridiculous.
Because of how many penalties are being thrown. Is that crew to crew or?
There's penalties being thrown. I'll eat this, but hard to explain. We're blocking downfield, apparently too aggressive, unnecessary blocks by the linemen. We've always told linemen, drive your guy 10 yards down the field, but they don't like us driving them 10 yards down the field sometimes, like it's unnecessary. Not illegal, unnecessary. Just a lot of ticky-tack stuff, not just against us, against both sides, week in, week out. I agree. It's been hard for a lot of people getting rhythm with some of that stuff going on.
Coach, I'll say this so you don't have to say it. I watched a holding call about 10 yards behind the play, just a kid pushing a kid toward the sideline, had nothing to do with the play, in a 28-point ball game where there was already about 18 penalties thrown because I heard Brad Nim announce it, and here comes number 19. It had nothing to do with the play. The kid's already 10 or 15 yards down the field, and here comes another. And I was like, give me a break. Like, I can't even watch this because there's so many penalties being thrown. I don't care if it's a rivalry game or not. Let kids play the sport they want to play and what they practice to do.
So much of it, too, turns into a humanitarian effort, like, to keep the game even. Like Clinton and Coach Hammock's doing a good job. They played hard, and they played with class tonight. I could see a lot of continuity and design and what they're trying to do on both sides. He's just starting though, and our program's been going for a while. So at this point, we're not in the same level program-wise. But there was definitely an effort to level the playing field. It felt like tonight, some things like that. But it's to the point. Some of these things, I don't even know what to tell the kids because they're doing what we told them to do. And I'm not talking dirty or chippy or late. I'm just saying blocking. Tackling.
Yeah.
Now there's some gray area when it comes to tackling and quarterbacks. And, those are things the way the game's going, you got to live and die with that. But even with that being said, it's high school, not NFL. But I think just people watching NFL are trying to reciprocate the same calls that are happening on Sunday.
And they don't even know what the rules are. It's great for them, too. So it's according to what your last name is at quarterback or what number you're wearing, according if it's a personal foul on the quarterback. So, yeah. Hey, who do y'all have next week? Are you off next week and then back at it, or where do you all stand for the next couple weeks?
We're off, and we're on bye week. We're on fall break, and we've been very fortunate, really, the last 4 years to be able to get those two to coincide. So I've given them the whole week off for the last 4 years, and so honestly, the season is so long, and the football don't stop. If we get a play to December, then the week after we're going to be in here lifting and going at it and all that. So when we get a chance to give them a week off on a bye week, we do, and they'll come back in the following Sunday, and we'll start getting ready for Knox West, and that's going to be a big game for us.
Absolutely, big game. And
we did have some bad news right before the game. I don't say our best player, but one of the best players in the state, Trent Strickland, pulled a hamstring. Didn't get a play tonight. Ooh. And been our most explosive receiver and definitely our best slot safety and kind of a captain on the defense, getting people lined up.
Yeah.
Gabe St. John got some on-the-job training in the pregame. Came in and played 4 quarters. He just played lights out. So great job for him. And Gabe and Evan Pyatt both stepped in and filled the role for Trent tonight on offense. Both of them had big nights. So a little bit of a setback. We got to make sure he's healthy by that West.
Good deal, Coach. Hey, congratulations, and high on the Mavs this year. Hope you're playing the first week of December.
Hook 'em, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, buddy. All right, Mr. Jones, can we take a quick break and get some commercials in before Mr. 5-Star Preps calls us here about 10:45, 10:50?
Send those highlights.
Send us some highlights, and we'll get those on. I'll see what that Presley catch.
Yeah, Will Presley, we need that. Send that highlight.
All right, we're out of here for a quick commercial break.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
One in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's one person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood Center, we are the primary blood provider for 25 hospitals in 23 East Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky counties. Started in 1958, Medic has been serving Knoxville and the surrounding areas for 66 years. For 1 hour of your time, you can save a life. Visit medicblood.org for more information on blood donation.
I wanted to continue my education after high school, but my family and I didn't think we could afford it. Then I found out that Roane State has the options to make college possible. Now I'm pursuing my dreams and will make my family and community proud.
Kathy Mae Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy Mae Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
And here we go with Jesse Smithy live with Mr. Five-Star Preps himself. He was on hold there and has a lot going on. I wanted to go straight to him. Jesse, another week in the books. DJ's calling it Blowout Friday.
Blowout Friday.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it totally is. I mean, just seemed like everywhere we went or looked tonight, it was a blowout. Given some of the big-time matchups that were on the marquee, Alcoa West ended up being a blowout. I mean, it was tight for about a half, and then Alcoa put it away. Anderson County Clinton was a blowout. Central and Oak Ridge was close for a little bit, and of course, Oak Ridge went on like a 35-0 run, so to speak, and put that one away. So we weren't anticipating too much drama this week, though. It just even though there were some decent-looking games, Maryville, Beard, and things like that, if you've been kind of following it along all year, you kind of could read the tea leaves and see how those are going to turn out.
It was crazy. Hey, we've had quite a few calls. I know we're not in Knox County. We've had quite a few calls about asking questions about Bearden. DJ, what word did you use for it? Disturbing?
Disturbing. That's exactly the word I used.
Are you surprised at all on how lopsided that was last night?
I mean, Bearden spotted them basically 21 points in the first quarter. I mean, they had snap issues. Now, I don't know if that was their backup center or what, but the snaps were ridiculously fast and high out of the grasp of DJ Hunter, and Maryville recovered both. Give them the ball at the 6 and about the 32-yard line. Of course, they're going to go down and score. So it was 14-0 in about 3 minutes and 37 seconds into the game. And then Bearden shanked a punt about 20 yards, giving Maryville another short field, and it's 21-0. And just totally siphoned all the electricity or any type of buzz or anticipation that was about that game. DJ Hunter, the quarterback at Bearden, he's been out since the Alcoa game. I didn't know if they were going to start him or not because Drew Parrott played pretty clean football for them in 2 wins over Hardin Valley and Farragut. And I know that's not Maryville, but still, I mean, he's a senior. He's got a lot of experience. He's the one that's been in there the last 4 weeks. And DJ Hunter hasn't been, but they played DJ Hunter the whole game, and he was noticeably limping in the second half. So I just kind of wonder what he's going to have left in the tank moving forward.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say this argumentative way, but at the same time, Maryville still had over 500 yards of offense for a high school football game.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the deal. I mean, they had to keep scoring because you know as well as anybody, Jonathan, you see the scores. They never really put up 60 or 60 on anybody unless they have to. It's always 42-7, and I think they wanted it to be that way. But Bearden kept throwing deep, and of course DJ Hunter's got an unbelievable arm, and he caught the secondary nap at one time, and they went in and scored. And so Maryville's having to continue to put points on the board and just kind of finally salt this thing away. So I think Maryville had to put up that much offense and that much point production. Well, we're not used to seeing them have to do that.
Yeah, 42-21, and I was like, wow, and they just kept scoring.
Yeah.
So it's got kind of out of character there for Maryville there for a little bit, but not in a bad way. They just had to do what they had to do.
Absolutely. We've talked a little bit on the show already tonight just of the dynamics of the next couple weeks. Which week seems to be off the most? This coming Friday or the following Friday as far as games being played?
Well, I looked at next week, and anybody can on TWSAA sports.com, and I counted all the teams that are off next week. And across the state of Tennessee next week, we have 150 teams.
Wow.
Holy cow. So it doesn't really leave us with much of a choice or in terms of just getting a full week of high school football. And I hate that because you're in the month of October and you want some big-time games coming down the stretch, and I think we eventually get those. But there's a few to look forward to, though, next week. Thursday night, I think Brentwood Academy comes to Knoxville. Tennessee Commitment, Georgia McIntyre, the quarterback, will be playing against the Fighting Irish here in Knoxville, so I'm sure that will carry some intrigue. Bearden, the team that we just talked about, they play a meaningful region game on the road against a really good Cleveland team. If Bearden wins that game, they're likely going to be the number 2 seed in hosting a first-round playoff game come November. So there's still some meaningful games, just not a lot of depth on that schedule next week.
Do you see anything, and I'm gonna give Jesse some credit here, and he hates this, but Jesse moved the needle to get football started at 7 o'clock. Indirectly. I give him a hard time about that all the time.
Yeah.
I've always thought, why are we not playing at 7 o'clock? It ain't like people can't get there to watch a football game at 7 o'clock.
Right.
And somebody might call in and disagree. But I see you out driving around at 5 o'clock, so you can get there at 7. So here's my point. Do you see ever the state going to a statewide bye week, even though they might say, well, they don't all line up, but if you give it 1 week, you're usually going to hit at least 90% across the state. If you give it 1 week, it would hit on the front end or the back end of a fall break.
Right.
Do you see anything like that happening?
I can't. Like, I've never heard that even, like, in discussions, and maybe I'm talking to the wrong people, but it just seems like there are bigger issues the state has to tackle than that. It would have to almost line up with people's fall breaks, and those fall breaks come earlier, and I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll just have to get what we get. I feel like 150 might be down from what we normally get, so maybe they're doing some improvements on that. I'd have to look back at my tweets. I usually count it every single year. Whenever Knox County goes on fall break, how many teams across the state are out, and I feel like in past years it's been more than 150. So perhaps they're encouraging some more and more teams to play during fall break, and then there's some Knox County teams playing next week.
Yeah, there are, and I'm just hypothetical. If we wanted to make it happen, we just get Jesse to tweet it, and then 2 years the board vote on it, and they won't play. So no, I'm just kidding with you.
But I can give it a try. I mean, we can see if it gets legs on it.
Like you said, they've got a lot of issues they've got to tackle. But I mean, the 7 o'clock thing, it moved the needle pretty quick. It didn't take many years.
Wow. Yeah.
So. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, talk a little bit about, and I know we highlighted this the other night when me and you talked on the phone. We talked earlier, the year Presley and Maddox are having stats-wise and numbers-wise, and them both being right here in our coverage area. I mean, you said, I think a couple weeks ago, I'm not going to quote you on this, but the numbers that Will Presley and Maddox are putting up are unbelievable.
They are.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I think at one point, Will Presley was averaging over 30 yards a catch, which is just absolutely insane. And, of course, Bryson Maddox, I don't know what he did tonight. I did see him have 1 touchdown catch there in the first half. But I think after last week, basically 1 out of every 3 catches that he had was for a touchdown. And he was absolutely dominant in that game against Oak Ridge last week, I believe. And look at the kid. I mean, he's 6'5", every bit of it.
Yeah.
And can turn on the burners when he needs to. He can go up and get those 50-50 balls when he needs to. And Will Presley, look at his skill set. Maybe he's not as tall as Bryson Maddox, but definitely has the speed, the football IQ. And when a Maryville football coach comes up to you after they scrimmage Oak Ridge and go, man, that Will Presley's a player. I mean, when they catch a program like Maryville's attention, you know he's a special kid. And I think Will Presley is pretty special.
Speaking of Maryville, how special is that QB? I mean, he's 16 years old. Is he have a bright future?
Yeah, absolutely. And just the lineage that he comes from his dad being a former college standout at Tennessee Tech, and his older brother is now the starting quarterback at Furman, and Will Jones is just a sophomore. What impresses me right now is his running ability. He's faster than I think people understand or give him credit for, just how he can see the open field and get there so quickly and continue to move the chains. But his pass game continues to get better and better every single week. And had a really nice ball over the top that just had to drop it in the breadbasket. And just love the touch that he put on that throw. So it's going to be fun to watch over the next few years as his arm strength gets better and bigger. His velocity is going to get better. And I think at this point that just comes with maturation and getting older, and we'll see that over the next 2 years.
Absolutely. Hey, I just got text that asked Jesse the question I asked you, so I will. I got a call. It was Queener. Queener called earlier and said, why is Grace not getting any more love in the state polls since they've had such a good season? My answer was probably because the last 2 or 3 years they've not been as good, and sometimes you got to earn the respect of people across the state. Where would you leave that with Queener so he gets his answer?
Well, I mean, I voted in that state poll, and I think the issue with that right now is there are brand name teams, your CPAs of the world, your Boyd Buchanans of the world, your FRAs, your USJs that are always in contention. And right now, I don't know what they did tonight, but as of earlier this week, all 4 of those teams I just listed are undefeated.
Yeah.
And you got a BGA team out of Nashville. So just because Grace is undefeated right now, they're going to have to knock off a Boyd Buchanan. They're going to have to knock off a Webb School of Knoxville for them to hop into that top 5 and start really getting state notoriety.
Absolutely, and I think Grace is off this coming week, and they play Webb at GCA. So you win. I told David, you win that game, all of a sudden you're probably getting voters' attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Jesse, I know you've had a busy night. You've been on every sports talk and call-in show and news station they have around here, and you got a lot of work yet to do. So we'll let you go, and we appreciate it, and push for that bye week. I support you having a week off.
Well, I'll send out the tweet this weekend, and I'll tag the TWS boy in it, and we'll see what we can get done.
If they don't follow you, about 150 schools in Anderson County, Knoxville, Greenville, everywhere else, they'll follow you.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting social media conversation for sure, at least.
There you go. There you go.
All right, see you guys.
All right, thank you, buddy. And since he's just hanging up, I will say this. Congratulations to Kingston golf team. They won their 6th straight regional tournament, playing for another state championship. So congratulations to Kingston's golf team there.
The
girls won.
Yeah.
So just congratulations. Kingston's always had a good golf program. If they had a better coach, there's no telling where they would be. And Coach, I know you're watching. But anyway, so good things happen around town right now. This postseason golf going on, volleyball starting. So a lot going on for these high school kids outside of football.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny, though. I know Brad doesn't like the 7 o'clock kick. Maybe he's getting used to it. But, like, when Jesse started pushing that, all of a sudden Knox County just said, all of our kicks are 7 o'clock.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's pull. That's good pull right there.
Why is Powell back to 7:30?
They said they went back.
Really? Well, there you go. That would be the one school I would say that would go back to 7:30. So you can leave it at that. Coach Lowe, there you go.
Coach Lowe and those Panthers.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But anyway, Jesse brings up some good points about that Bearden game, and I didn't get to see it. I just got a text and said 28-0, run the clock, Maryville.
I don't think anybody's seen that game.
Yeah.
Even if you was watching it, it was nothing to see.
Yeah.
Brad was recording.
I was there.
And he didn't see that game.
Yeah.
It was just one of those games. Like I said, disturbing is the word. Very unexpected. However, the play out that Jesse told us, they got 14-0 with 3 minutes in the ball game. Then, muffed the punt, and then they're right back in it for a 3rd touchdown real quick. So, I mean.
What that problem was is that Bearden kept cutting it under 30.
Yeah, but I thought once it went over 30, when it went back under, okay. Well, they need to do something different because the ball game was out of control. It lasted forever. Football's meant to be played on Friday night, and it just took forever.
Right.
I mean, I was following. I don't watch that production, but I was keeping up with it on Twitter, and all of a sudden, I looked and I was like, 3rd quarter. But I guess there was a lot of flags. It's funny to hear the frustration of Coach Gillum.
And I want to bring that back up because what he said happened tonight was what we seen happen last week with Oak Ridge and Clinton.
Yep.
Do you think it's because it's a rival game and they want to keep it unchippy because it can get out of hand if they don't throw the flags?
Do you have my clip from last week? Okay. I've got a clip from last week, and I will try to, and if we can pull it up, we will. And you asked about chippiness, okay? There was a play. I'm not going to name it's Oak Ridge Clinton. I'm not going to name the team who occurred the foul. The play goes into the sidelines. The kid gets hit into the side, late hit. Another kid comes in and shoves the kid into the bleachers.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If you want to take care of chippiness, you eject the kid.
Period.
It's simple.
Period.
You throw a second flag, you eject the kid, and you take care of chippiness.
Right.
Because now you pull your team together and say, guys, we got to keep our head. If you get another sportsman or you something crazy, you're not playing next week.
Exactly.
So it's almost like they slap you on the hand, but then people want to call and say, well, it's a rivalry game. There's a lot of flags. Well, do what your job is to do.
Right.
And that's control the game.
Absolutely.
And when a guy does something like that, eject the kid and you've done your job, and you don't have to throw 16 more penalties for a late hit or a block in the back or in sportsmanlike conduct.
Absolutely.
You take care of it immediately.
I like that.
You take care of it immediately. But here's what happens to me, and I'm going to get on my basketball tangent. Point of emphasis this year, hand check. Okay? What are you talking about? I mean, you watch Fulton and Oak Ridge play basketball?
Oh, yeah.
It's a man's game. I don't want a hand check called.
It is.
I don't want a hand check called. We practice harder than that.
Right.
So in this, I don't know what the point of emphasis this year, but they come up with these wild rules. Point of emphasis, can't roll your shorts down. Well, worry about calling the game. Can't wear your knee pads above your knees. Well, if you're stupid enough to pull your knee pads above your knees, let them do it.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here you go. Boom, boom, and he's into the bleachers.
I remember that play. I remember that play vividly.
If you want to take care of the situation, send the kid to the locker room.
That's right. Bottom line.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
If you don't, and my other thing is, if you don't want your kid over there clapping their face and dancing, when you pull them out of the game, don't let them go sit on the bench without you saying something to them.
Exactly.
I mean, it's real simple.
Coach them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like me saying, hey, if you do that one more time, I'm going to take your phone. But I never take his phone. He keeps doing it. Well, I mean,
exactly.
It ain't gonna change.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it amazes me. But Coach Gillum was obviously frustrated.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know that I've heard Coach Gillum that frustrated about the way it was done. He doesn't feel like tonight's officiating was done in the manner of what your job was. It was more done to make sure the score didn't get lopsided.
Absolutely. And he was ossified about it.
Yes.
He was ossified. He wasn't subdued. He was ossified about it.
Yeah. And I feel bad for the Oak Ridge and Clinton coaching staff for the live ball fouls.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were so many of them, there was no flow.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say I feel sorry for them about the dead ball fouls because that's something they can control.
Right.
But the live ball fouls, That's on. It was miserable.
Yeah, it was.
It was miserable.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we finally slowed down, and I know the TV shows are about to crank up with.
We
the Friday
might have
Night
a
Lights.
highlight.
We got another highlight.
We might got a highlight.
I want to see a highlight because we got about 10 minutes before everything starts
I
up.
got a Cruz Shannon highlight out there in Cofield. There he is. He's gonna get tackled. He is not gonna get tackled. He will go all the way. Cruz Shannon, Cofield, one heartbeat. Let's go.
You're gonna have you're gonna have Auburn Springs people fired up.
Hey, let's go. Hey, send in the highlights. Thank you for sending in that highlight. We appreciate that. And if you want your child's highlight played right here, live TV, the show is going on right now. You might not get your show played on the, what's it?
No.
Yeah.
No,
but you can get it right here.
You can get it right
you
here.
can get it right here. Send it in.
Send it on in. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk a little more high school football and start talking college football.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
One in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's 1 person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood Center, we are the primary blood provider for 25 hospitals in 23 East Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky counties. Started in 1958, Medic has been serving Knoxville and the surrounding areas for 66 years. For 1 hour of your time, you can save a life. Visit medicblood.org for more information on blood donation.
What is strength when you're battling cancer? Is it a shoulder to lean on? A voice of hope? Is it confidence in the most available care options? Or is it unmatched expertise answering your hardest questions? Giving you the courage to move forward. At Covenant Health, we think it means all of this and more. For you. Let our strength be yours.
I wanted to continue my education after high school, but my family and I didn't think we could afford it. Then I found out that Roane State has the options to make college possible. Now I'm pursuing my dreams and will make my family and community proud.
Kathy Mae Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy Mae Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Scoreboard, the free medical clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. The price is right. We're going to go to the phone lines, and then we've got another highlight video that was sent in to us. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, Ben. How are y'all?
What's
We're
up?
great. How are you doing?
Good, good. Deej, you doing okay?
I'm blessed, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. So,
You're not going to ask me how I'm doing?
No.
Oh, go ahead. What?
You're not going to ask me how I'm doing?
No, I know how you
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I've got social media. We all know how you're doing.
What are you into?
Nothing much. So I come walking in, and my wife says Coach Gillum was complaining about the amount of flags. What did he give you all a number? Because in the press box, we kept a number that we think is pretty accurate.
He did not give up. He did not give us a number, and we were actually talking about that during commercial break just a little bit, as you could tell his frustration. What was your number? And then I'll kind of elaborate a little bit on what he said.
So every night before the game, we look at who's refereeing the game, because we see these guys in middle school, and we see them on high school Friday nights pretty regular. And so when I saw Leonard Scarborough, I love Leonard, really love Leonard, and I dialed it back and placed the over-under at 11. Now,
I love you, man.
Now listen, Leonard, this is just something we do in the press box. We don't tell anybody about it. We don't post it on the Jumbotron.
Set the over-under.
But Leonard, you know, I like Leonard a ton, so I dialed it back. I had the over-under after the last time we had our crew out there. We put an over-under at 14 that we had before the first quarter was over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Tonight, I dialed it back to 11, and now it was not Leonard. I don't know who the deep guy was. He probably had 8 of the first 11, and we had those before the end of the first half. Unbelievable, and they just kept throwing them. And, I mean, you're just like, listen, buddy, if you want us to put your picture up, we will. I mean, we'll take your photos, send it in, you know.
They don't get called or paid by the flag.
I just don't get it.
Hello?
Yeah, Richie, what we were saying, and what Davey was saying, is he felt as though the flags that were being thrown at times were to keep the game close and more competitive.
I felt like, okay, I can see that from his perspective, and he's a great football guy, and I love him to death. He's a great dude. But let me tell you, I felt like whoever's behind the umpire, whoever's the deep guy, we got the final tally at 18. 18 flags. And on several plays, there were multiple flags per ref. But we felt like in the 18, he probably threw 11 or 12 of them. Unbelievable. Buddy, we see you. We love you. We're going to send you a Christmas card, but quit throwing.
Was Jack Price there?
Yeah.
No, Jack Price was in no crib tonight. I got to shake his hand on the sideline.
If it was Jack Price, I would bite my own hand, because I love that guy. He's a super dude. But holy cow, just kept freaking throwing flags. And you know how things are. Certain coaching staff can wear out a guy on the sideline, and he will throw flags to get them off the back. I didn't really feel like it was that way, even though their guy on their sideline threw a few. I didn't feel like it was that way. It was just one dude just kept chucking them. And, you know, some of them were legit. But holy cow, you've thrown 11. You know, it's nuts.
Yeah, and if you notice, excuse me, over the course of time, how long it takes these high school football games to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of that, we did a middle school bowl game last night, and several times they meet because they weren't wearing the earpieces. They meet and they talk forever.
Yeah.
And the crew we had last night was really good, really good. But, you know, and they were trying to get it right, but holy cow, we got to go. I mean, I want to get home and watch Maryville Beard, you know. I mean, holy cow, it was crazy the amount of time they met for last night. So, you know, these things are dragging out, and, you know, to me, it's not the association at all. It's certain individuals want to be seen. You know, so who's the guy, Teddy Valentine? Is that who we always poke fun at?
TV Teddy.
TV Teddy.
Yeah. So, you know, every crew has a Teddy Valentine. And I've actually heard really good white hats tell me, when I get this guy on my crew, I take his flags away because I don't want him to be a part of the show. I want it to be about the kids and, you know, this, that, and the other. And we've got some great referees and some great white hats. And we got some knuckleheads, you know, sort of like anything else. You got great attorneys, you got great dentists, You got great chiropractors. You got bad ones. You know, there's bad ones in every profession. But holy cow, we got to unify and move forward in a better fashion. It's nuts. And now, as far as your 7 o'clock kickoff, for the guys shooting fireworks, I wish we kicked off all year at 8.
Yeah, and for the guys
it'd be dark.
and for the guys reporting all the news and trying to post all the videos, they love 7.
Sure, I can get that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand their perspective.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the 7.
As many points as y'all score in the second half, you can shoot off a lot of fireworks.
Well, with the running clock, you can.
That's true. That's true. Hey, you've been watching it a long time, and I can't give you the full story right here, but I can say that the 5-star crew that's covering football this year seems to think that as an overall, football is down from an overall perspective. We think it's magnified because we have so many classifications. Do you see that, or do you disagree with that?
You know, I kind of disagree with that. I think we've got good quality football. The problem I see is the classifications. We've got too many privates. We've got too many, we got 6 classifications for the other. I'd like to see it be more like a 5, but they're never going to do that because they're going to lose money. I mean, it's all about money. So they're never going to dial it back. I would like to see it be more of a 5. I think 4 is too top-heavy to reward some teams that are really small that just got caught up in a bad classification. But I think 5 would be right. It would be a perfect niche to whereas you wouldn't get when Greenville was hot and they were facing Anderson County in the 3rd round and, a couple of years it was really, 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 really good. And then a couple of years, we had 2 or 3 blowouts there. And then they just go bam, bam the next 2 rounds and it didn't matter. Same for Alcoa. I think if you dialed it back to 5, it would create a ton more parity.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I do think I would like to see TWSAA make some proposals for the success rate. I feel like Georgia has had some success with that.
Yeah.
You win 2 state championships. The next time there is a reclassification year, you go up automatically.
Yeah.
I like.
They where they got that? They got that from weirdly European soccer, where you can play up. You can win your way into better classifications, but in that case, you're playing your way into better money, better TV contracts, stuff like that.
Yeah, and in the privates on the large school private, from my understanding, that will be implemented this coming year to figure out who will make up the last spot or last couple spots on the private school. And with CPA's enrollment and with their success, they will now go into the Catholic Macaulay Baylor League.
Yeah, that would be a great experiment because CPA is a bunch of freaking dogs. I mean, they've got guys that'll say, you know what, I don't want to play college baseball, I want to play college football, and they get Division I Power 5 offers in both.
Yeah.
That's the caliber kid they're looking at.
So I'm interested to see how it works. I've always said I like Alcoa, Josh, those guys over there, ADs. I mean, everybody over there at Alcoa is great to work with us as far as 5-star goes. But I don't know how their fan base doesn't get bored when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, people used to always say, there was a couple of years where they threatened to come up to 4A, and there were several 4A schools that ran to 5 just, oh, my God, we don't want to play Alcoa. But the truth was, Alcoa would have played 2A if they'd let them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah, they're all about winning that title. It doesn't matter what the competition is. Maryville, the complete opposite.
Yeah. The Maryville, the one year they were going to be 5A, I think they were going to say, hey, we're playing up to 6A.
Yeah.
They always have.
Yeah.
They sought that better competition, and they whooped their tail for the most part. Now, they had a bad, 2-year run. I think they're back now.
Yeah.
I think they're the most dominant team in our area.
Now, you're really connected with Anderson County and the new enrollment stuff that will come out and take place really soon. You've got some schools that are not fans of it. You have some schools that are fan of it. Does anybody, and I know GT is on top of this stuff hot and heavy, is anybody in Anderson County with the new enrollment see you all getting bumped up a classification with it being pulled toward the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. You know, I was talking to one of the kings in the know. There's about 5 of them over there. And one of those guys said, you know, we were not, you know, the first or second place team as far as being the biggest school in 4A. We were several down the list, which I didn't realize. You know, once my son graduated, I've been, you know, had different interests. And in looking at that, he's also told me that there's several of those bottom feeders in 5A that are bigger. Now, the road to the state tournament or the state championship in 5A, outside of what West has done historically, would be easier than running through great Greenville and Elizabethton teams, and now Pearl Cone and Upperman. You know, that would have been an easier climb because you don't face incredible competition until you get to the 4th round.
I agree to disagree on some of that. I think the year you all won it, was that not the year Powell was really good? Did you all beat them that year?
I think Powell won the state title the year before. I don't think.
And West won it.
West won it the year we won.
I think the depth of the playoffs in 5A from round 2 to the championship is better than 4A. The depth of it. Now this year,
well, it depends on your region. If you're in Region 2 like we are, and you've got to play Bryson Rollins in round 2, no, you're not. No, you're not better in 5A. I mean, I've heard that argument before. Not true. Bryson Rollins was a generational player. Now, Elizabethton doesn't appear to be the same team this year that they were in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
But Bryson Rollins can flip the screen on you.
Yeah. But that's a generational thing, like you said.
Sure.
I think year in and year out, the depth of 5A football is better. And I'll say that because I think it hurt Fulton football tremendously. I think the 5A run in Fulton football actually hurt them more than it helped them, but they had to do it for finances. Now, there's other things that hurt them that mean you can talk off the air that we know exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But the 5A thing hurt Fulton more than it helped them. Here's why I say this.
But it was gold for Gibbs. If you'll remember, Gibbs was the first person to dip their toe in that pot.
Yes.
They went up there and they went 9-1 or 10-0 or something stupid, and we're all like, "Holy cow, Gibbs is, you know, they're Gibbs."
Yeah.
You know, they're not juggernauts. They're not Alcoa. They're not Maryville. But now they're putting out T-shirts and saying we're 10-0 or we're 9-1, and they went to the second round of the playoffs. And everybody was like, "Holy cow, let's go to 5A."
Yeah.
You know, it's like moving to California during the gold rush.
And I'll tell you this.
Let's go get some gold.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. I think now winning more games and marketing your program can be more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think you can say, "Hey, we're
in a fist fight with Central and Austin East. And the dude that wins out over the 3 and is able to survive Bearden has a shot at a long run."
Yeah. And that's what happens. And that's why I say I think the 5A thing hurt them, because it wasn't like they could say, "We're region champs again in 4A, and we lost in the second round." If you're Fulton versus, you know, one year you're 6-4, and the next year you win the region. They won the region one night up here on Halloween against Oak Ridge, and they lose to a Central team, Bryson Rosser's team, in the quarters or semis, whatever it was. But my point is, you can't sustain that success at a 5A level, and then you have a couple years, now all of a sudden Powell gets 6 kids, you know, Bearden gets 4 kids, and all of a sudden you got 31 kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll say this, Anderson County.
Legacy kids who are really good, you know.
Yeah, Anderson County did a great job of when they were going to Chattanooga and winning games to build momentum and marketing on that side that continue to get that going. And you know as well as I do, your son's championship team, state championship team, they went through, they got calloused throughout the year to get to where they were.
Yeah, they did. And I've heard this argument before about, you know, you call, not you specifically, but called it the Pizza Hut League, and you played a weak schedule and you weren't ready.
Oh, Pizza Inn League.
Here's the part that you don't consider. In 2015 and 2016, we go 3-7 or 4-6 both years. I mean, we didn't need to go out and schedule Maryville. we needed to schedule Heritage and William Blood. Now, we didn't know our sophomores going to be juniors were going to turn into juggernaut men overnight. And they did. They did. They turned into grown men. And you ended up running through those next 2 years and not being tested. But David Gillum did the exact thing he should have done in his scheduling, because the 2 years, 2015 and 16, you were so not good. I'm trying to tone that down. We really just weren't good. We lacked certain positions, and then you had certain injuries, and I'm not making excuses. But at the end of the day, you weren't very good. Then you go 10-0, and we stood toe-to-toe with a Greenville team that was the most dominant team in 4A in a long time. And that's exactly what you needed to do. Now, the next year in 2018, when Trey was a senior, it would have been nice if we would have dumped off a couple of those patsies for the Powell team and the Ray County team we beat in the preseason. And the South Doyle team that ended up having 2 kids go Division I, we beat in the preseason.
Yeah.
But we couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like 17 and 18, your non-region games to start the season.
2-year cycle.
Yeah. I mean, your two games to start the season back-to-back years are Carter and William Blunt.
Yeah.
They've historically been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, the 2 years before that, you have West.
3-7, 4-6. No playoffs. That's that's a big deal for us.
It is.
We go to the playoffs pretty regularly.
That's right.
So.
But no, it's been good. But I just don't think the depth of football teams right now is what it is in our area.
Okay, I'll give you that if you'll go from Bristol to Memphis, but I won't give you that if you go just in East Tennessee, because we've always got to battle the two up there. They've only got to battle us.
Yeah.
We're in the second round. In the second round, you should be 30 to 6 on somebody. Well, we've never had that. It's always been Elizabethton or Greenville. Yeah. When Greenville was hot, when Elizabethton had Rollins, we would get a Greenville team, which ended up having, what's the kick returner over there at Georgetown up in D.C.? What's the Greenville kid that had the unbelievable speed, and now he's returned late?
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure of his name, but I know you're speaking of.
What's his name?
I'm not sure. I know you're speaking of, but I can't remember his name.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We face these incredible athletes and teams in the second and the third. Now, traditionally, you battle through those. Fourth and fifth wasn't nearly as hard. That's different now. Upperman's great. Pearl Cone's great. Haywood's great.
Yeah.
It's just different now. So if you want to say just East Tennessee, yeah, we're every bit as thick as 5A. As a matter of fact, we just ran through 2 of them in Bearden and Powell.
Yeah. Well, is Bearden 6A?
Bearden 6A, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I always think of them as being 5A.
Yeah.
They're 6A.
And here's what I'll tell you, and this is a lot of what we go on. We got to make plans on trips to Chattanooga. In the past, I think we could guarantee 3 teams probably playing on Saturday, possibly 4 in the public school side. This year, I think your over-under for you would be 2.
The over-under, I'm guessing, is who?
You have a guarantee in Alcoa. Outside of that, I think Anderson County, and I'm not saying anything about my Oliver Springs guy, but I think Anderson County has the best chance to play in Chattanooga outside of Alcoa in our coverage area of 60 counties.
We've got a chance, but we also took a hit in Trent Strickland tonight. And Strickland hurting his hamstring, man, that's big. And Strickland does more for us than most teams will ever know. He does little things defensively. Like, I'll tell you this, in 2022, and I've told my boy Gavin this a million times, if it wasn't for Trent Strickland and his three tackles in the open field, we don't win that ball game, because them suckers score on those plays. And it ended up being third downs turned into fourth downs. So when we lost Trent Strickland tonight, it was huge. Gabe St. John came in and did a wonderful job, but he himself is coming off a hamstring injury. So I'm worried he'll re-injure just like Gavin and Bryson did in that senior run.
Y'all got to figure out those hamstrings in Anderson County. They need a good chiropractor.
Man, I'm telling you.
Hey, Richie, good talking to you, bud. We appreciate you.
Good talking to y'all, man. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to
Yep.
hang out and listen to the rest of your call.
Good talk, but go back and listen to Coach Gillen's comments.
All right, Coach No.
He's a brilliant man. I'll go listen.
All right. See you, bud.
See you.
So that 5A, Region 2. Region 2 is 5A. Is that Powell, West, Bearden?
No, not Bearden.
I didn't mean to say Bearden.
Yeah.
Powell, West, Halls, Heritage, and who's the other?
So you have Heritage, Halls, Central, and West in a region.
Central. Oh, okay. Is that Region 2, right?
That would be.
Or is that Region 3?
Yes, that would be Region 2.
So Region 3 is Oak Ridge, Clinton, Campbell County, Lenoir City, and Corns.
And I think that's what Richie's saying. If you're in Region 3, which they could be, couldn't, I don't know how it goes. If you're in Region 3, it's Carnes, Clinton,
Oak Ridge,
Lenoir City, and Campbell County, and Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
Oak Ridge got a perfect draw.
Yeah.
Because they go to Region 4, which is Ottawa, Saudi, Ray County. They literally have the perfect scenario.
Yeah. Period.
If you think about it, when they did all this reclassing and the shuffle of the regions, Oak Ridge came.
That Region 2 is tough.
They came.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That Region 2.
So the state
except for Heritage.
The state champions
Right.
would be what, like 3 or 4 of the last 5 years out of
Yeah.
Region 2.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case then. They were indifferent, but yeah.
They're all in
Still, you
Region
put
2.
them in the same now.
Yeah.
That's a tough region, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, the man, the myth, the legend,
Jett,
baby.
I literally left midway at 10:42.
That ain't what happened.
That's what we were, because I had to stay to watch it all.
Because it went to 28-20. What happened?
Let them off the hook.
28-20?
They got two.
Was it not 20-0?
It was 28-7.
28-7.
Yeah, we got to clean up a few things on the personal foul side of things. You know,
We've been talking about officiating on and off here tonight.
Oh well, good. 'Cause I got a good question.
So it's post foul penalties for you all?
Yeah, and it's becoming a trend with it. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We had 3 personal fouls on the same drive.
Oh wow.
2 on the same play.
There's an easy
Is
way
it
to fix
3
that.
different players?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that
He don't need to say.
Yeah, the roughing a quarterback in one of the personal fouls, yes, was on the same play, but I'm not going to say their names.
Well,
you know, they're young.
I can say this: there's one way to handle the personal fouls and the unsportsmanlike. Kids have a nerve in their rear end that runs to their head, and if they're over there sitting on their rear end and they won't be out there with their buddies, they'll figure it out.
Right.
It's real simple.
Yeah.
You're either gonna pick your battles and fight your war.
Well, you know, and okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate, I guess. Both sides of this is I feel like some of these kids out here are already labeled from the get-go, and I know this to be for sure because last year before a game in Oakdale, the referees were talking, and I heard them say, you know, this number, there was about 3 or 4 numbers from Oakdale and 3 or 4 numbers from Oliver Springs. We're watching them. So if the kid gets a little upset and jumps up, throws his hands in the air and says, damn, you know, this ain't the F-bomb, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you got to hold, you can't hold them that close. They're going to get frustrated. It's football.
It's football, baby.
I
It's
mean,
a brutal sport.
You know what I mean? But now if they jump up and F-bomb or a good GD or something in there, you know, or slam a kid down, you know. If sometimes kids, when they push up, they don't mean to be pushing up on them hard. They're just, that's where they're at, so they push up.
Right.
You know, they're excited that it's made a sack, and you're holding them accountable. But on the other hand, and I think it becomes a trend. So here was my question. I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on it ever since before I got here.
You should have texted so we knew the answer.
Right. Is why can't we maybe mix it up sometimes. You know, like the Anderson County, Morgan County, Roane County area referees go referee Blount County game, and Blount County referees come referee ours to give the kids and the refs a break. I understand. It's like going to school every day.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Oh, this kid's a problem. This kid's a problem.
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, he's came in, he's been all right for a couple of weeks. But there's that one time he jumps up mad. Automatic. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not taking that out on any certain referees. I mean, I know there's a few out there that don't like me and I don't like them. That's fine. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to like each other.
That's not true.
You know, referees are like politicians. You just got to deal with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're human.
Yeah, they're human.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I'm going to answer this question. To address the first thing you said, then I'll let DJ talk as well. If a kid's got a bad reputation for losing their cool or doing something like that, my first automatic response as a coach who's coached for, high school for 18 going on 19 years, if that is addressed the first time and then there's action done the second time, there is no third time. They don't have a history.
Right.
The history gets cut off when accountability gets real.
Right.
Okay? Now, emotion's one thing.
Right.
But, the cussing, the late hit, the cheap shot, you start watching that because it happens. And I don't necessarily think it's coached, but I think the head's turned and it's allowed.
Right.
And basketball's different from football. We can lose a game to prove a point. Football coaches sometimes have a hard time doing that.
Right.
Because there's only 10 of them.
Right.
Right.
And
you're positioned for playoffs.
Yeah, but my deal is if I know I've got a really good position in playoffs, I'm going to teach a lesson to a kid.
Right.
And there's always a time to do that.
Right.
And it's the bigger picture. You don't want that to cost you in this Cofield game or the semifinal game.
Right.
And it always brings its head back up in the biggest moment.
That's what I was getting at and it's not just an Oliver Springs kid.
Oh, no.
It's across the board.
Right.
We showed a play tonight.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to come down on anybody, but there was a play earlier, and I can't wait to watch it.
Come on down. I want to hear it.
I mean,
the price
we
is right, man.
we threw an interception. We threw an interception right in the corner. Okay. Well, as the kid turns around to get it, to take off running, our kid makes the tackle, pulls him out of bounds. I'm talking on the 3-inch yard line, like you going 99 yard and 3/4.
Yeah.
But instead of being in position to make that call and see how tight that call was, because I guarantee if it's called, just replayed.
Yeah.
Or I was about to say 3, but the wide receiver, his back hits the pylon, and it pushes it out of bounds. As this kid's foot and the ball is in this hand, in the left hand, end zone's right here. It's just a back call.
Ricky Jett back on the field?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to hold that thought. Happy birthday, Liam Bokey, baby. The quarterback for Oliver Springs. Happy birthday. I know y'all out there partying somewhere. Save me a Coke, baby. I'll come drink one with you. No ice. I don't want any ice on my Coke.
Speaking of, has Sleepy brought anybody my Mountain Dew? Remember I gave him the line, Powell, -28?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did.
And he took, I'll take Clinton all day.
Yeah. No, he hasn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So that's double because it's like interest on that,
there's got to be interest on that.
There's interest on that.
Yeah.
Come on, Sleepy.
Just turn it into a 12-pack.
Oh, man.
It doubles every week.
So let me address what you said about the officials. Obviously, it changes for the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's no playoff.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah, it changes for the playoffs. And for the Knox County schools, they're a little more fortunate. And for like Anderson County and some of the schools that go over and play Knox County schools, there's two different, you got two different associations they're getting to work with. They got the ones at home at Anderson County, or like Clinton plays at home. They go to Powell, they go to Central, they go to West, they go to Maryville. They got a different association.
Right.
In basketball, you have different associations. And it's funny because I think all the associations call it a little different. But like you're saying, you're getting the same ones over and over again.
And I believe that's like it's like if you see somebody every day and they just give you a problem every day, then eventually, even when they're not really meaning to give you a big problem, they're a problem to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not singling anybody out, but they've been refereeing these kids for the last 12, 14 years.
Little League, all the way up.
And when you're in Little League, it's all buddy, hey, buddy, and then you hit middle school, and it's still kind of, middle school is just preparing for high school.
Right.
Yeah. And they're still, hey, buddy. Or even, you see these people at Food City. You see these people at Walmart, it might not. And there are some great officials. I
want to know who's reffing your games.
Huh?
Because I got ref on my shows.
Well, no, and it's not any in particular. It's just some of them, two of them, tonight I didn't see, but I know we're 4 of them. I know we're probably 10 of them that circulate went to school.
Right.
I mean, some of them went to school at Auburn Springs. I mean, I'm not saying that they're biased or anything like that, but I'm just saying they see these kids too long,
Gotcha.
It might need a little breakup.
Gotcha. I know.
Maybe now if Blount County referee comes down, throws 3 flags on us for personal fouls, right? Then we got a problem.
Right.
But maybe it was just a little bit of.
Did you hear Coach Gillen's call?
No, I hadn't got to.
If you go back and watch the replay, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I will. And if I'm wrong, you can stop me.
Okay.
The game was kept close by flags that were thrown. Was that paraphrasing pretty good?
You paraphrasing pretty good. I would have said something worse, like for entertainment purposes. So I think you did a good job.
What was the one thing you said you would do as a referee? If you was to be a referee, you threw a flag, you would tell that player what they done wrong.
Absolutely.
So what holds that back from the kid asking,
what did I do?
Maybe some choice words shouldn't have been said, but it's a battle.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's football. I'm not taking away from basketball, baseball, any other sport. Yeah. It's football.
I would love the referee just to coach a player up and do my best to call it right. I'm going to screw up. I'm going to be called all kind of names, and I get it. But I would take pride in throwing a flag to coach one up, not to be the DJ TV show, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to just keep throwing flags or single a kid out because I know how his emotions get, or I've seen how his emotions got and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to do that. But I'm a different type of person anyway. But I always believe that referees, especially at the high school level, but Little League for sure, it's not their job to coach them up. That's the coach's job to coach them up. But and it's not their job to have a good relationship with those kids either, right? Their job is to police the ball game. I mean, that's what they're there for. They're there to police the ball game, call it the best way that they can. I was asking Cox here, I was like, do you think those rivalry games, they do that just so it don't get too chippy? Well, he had the perfect answer. Get him out of here, right?
I mean, that's the thing. Don't throw 71 flags.
Yeah,
right.
And I know you don't want to, you don't want to start ejecting kids. I mean, I get that, but
lessons need to be learned.
Tone.
Yeah.
Set the tone. And I will say this: I am not here to beat up on officials because I appreciate what they do for the money they give. They not with their families and all that. I'm not doing that at all.
No.
But what my point was in this conversation when we got started, it is hard for coaches to coach and hard for fans to watch when there's no flow to a game.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, they might say, well, it's hard for us to officiate when they're breaking the rules every play. Well, you know.
Call holding every play.
I've heard that from my dad since I was old enough to remember. Right. They could call holding every play.
I got your back, Mr. Ref. Don't worry about it.
But it's just one of those situations. It's very, very difficult.
Right.
I will say this. I have heard from a coach's mouth. I'll say two things. I've heard from a coach's mouth. They would rather have 5 than 7 because 7's more eyes. They would rather have 5 than 7 because when you have 7, you have more flags and you have more eyes.
Right.
I've also heard from some coaches that I'm good friends with that I went to college with down in the more toward Cookeville, Nashville area. They've changed he's changed jobs, and he said it's amazing what they can get away with down there that they couldn't get away with up here as far as celebrations after touchdowns.
Right.
Well, then you get to state championship game, you got somebody from the other side of the state.
Right.
Perfect example. Richie, watch this. A kid from Fulton crosses his arms. 15-yard personal foul. Now they're kicking off from the
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, and all of a sudden Anderson King scores before it happens. I'm standing, I got the video and said, is this a penalty? I literally showed it to Jesse. He's like, oh my gosh, they call that a penalty. A CAK kid scores the next, I'm watching it, next couple minutes, CAK scores. He gets in the end zone and spins the ball in the end zone, and the whole team's in there jumping around, no flag. So that's the difference between Anderson County that night and at Grace that night, the difference in officials.
Wow.
And I asked, I can't say his name, I asked him, I said, why'd you not go fair? He said, he wasn't showing anybody up. They were just celebrating. Now, he felt like if he'd have spun the ball directly at the opponent, then it would have been different. But anyway, let's go to the lines. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, sir, Jonathan. I figured if I'm going to try to talk a little college football, I better get in here before Coach Heupel or Kirby Smart or somebody calls you, because you'll kick me off again.
Hey, I'll get Heupel to call if you want me to.
That'd be great there. But anyway, I was going to get you guys' opinion there. Arkansas is not no joke. Those guys have got a pretty good football team. They should be undefeated. They've lacked a little bit there, and gosh, I even went back there. I know you guys quite a bit younger than me there, but if you remember the 1997-98 season there when Arkansas had the ball, it was on third down, and Clint Sterner went back there to try to complete a pass to just go ahead and basically put the game away. One of his linemen tripped him, and he tried to catch himself with a football recovered by Billy Ratliff. And Travis Henry took over in them last 2 minutes. And anyway, Tennessee went on to win the national championship in 1998.
Yeah, I was sitting right there on the 40-yard line in my full poncho watching him fumble the ball. I was there.
Saw it live and in person.
Full poncho, baby.
Yes, sir. It was terrific.
How did your mood change from when they stopped Tennessee versus when Tennessee got the ball back?
Well, I was screaming, going, "Where's everybody going? Don't give up!" You know, I was a senior in high school, and then all of a sudden, whenever they done that fumble, I said, "Yeah, we're gonna win this."
Yeah,
it was destiny.
Yeah,
that year was destiny.
It was just a magical year. They had that. Got that long field goal up there in Syracuse, New York there when Donald McNabb there was the quarterback there at Syracuse to win that game early on that year there. And I don't know, everything fell into place. They played Florida State in the national championship, and they ended up with a third-string quarterback in there. But we had T. Martin and Peerless Price there, and Al Wilson, some of them guys, and we pulled it out there. But all I'm going to say is I hope Tennessee does not overlook them guys tomorrow. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game there, and hopefully they pull it out there. I'm all in with the Vols this year. I'm hoping that Nico there starts to feel that pressure a little bit from the blind side and gets a little better peripheral vision there and hangs on to the football there. But, man, our defense has played lights out this year. And
yes, sir.
I hope it continues on. And I'll hang up there before Coach Heupel calls there, Jonathan, there, and get you guys' opinion on this game tomorrow there. And I appreciate what you guys do there, and I hope you have a good, safe trip home and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hey, Mr. Hendricks, if Brad Jones wouldn't have told me to switch over to Davey, I'd let you kept talking.
I understand there. Davey Gillum there, man, what a great coach he is. He's built a dynasty up there. Even though I'm a Clinton guy there, but man, them guys have put together a program up there. And there's a little rumor going around there that Jason Hammock there, he's going to get back into the catering business there. That maybe Davey may be looking to come down to Clinton. And Chris Locker, I think, is thinking about retiring, and Jody Wright's going to take over the basketball program.
There you go. Hey, I will say this, and I've said this, and people in Clinton will disagree, and you might disagree with me. If Jason Hammock decides he does not want the job, okay? If he doesn't decide he wants the job, the first guy you all need to call is Gary Terry. Is Gary Terry.
Who?
I said it.
Gary Terry.
Who could market Clinton's program any better?
Me.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you there. He has certainly done a great job up there at Anderson County there, because their fan support and everything else that they have coming out for them and stuff there. It's just been unreal there. He's done a great job there, but I don't know about him being a coach.
He said made him sad.
Hey, you could be a good coach. Just hire a good OC, a good DC.
That's right.
He's got the special teams. Hey, and you want to go out on the 4th of July to watch fireworks, you'll have it every Friday night in Clinton.
Well, we
think about
have
that.
to get the Gillum boy up there to do the fireworks.
No, there's more people in La Follette that can shoot fireworks.
Okay, then. All right, you guys give me your thoughts on the Tennessee and Arkansas there in Fayetteville tomorrow there. And like I say, I appreciate you guys there, what you do and everything, but I know that B.B. Brad there, the kind of money he shells out pays you guys there, that you don't hate it a whole lot there. You'll be eating at the Pearl for a few weeks.
The Pearl. That's right. Hey, I might need to meet you at the Pearl. I'd be like walking with a legend in there.
B.B. Brad.
Good deal. All right, you guys have a good one.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, bye.
B.B. Brad.
Hey, I have said it, and if he would sit down and think about what I said, he would realize that would be the perfect hire.
You made him sad. Did you see his voice change?
But he's got to think about it. He just went off feelings and emotion.
Yeah.
He's got to think it through.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not a bad idea.
He's got to think it through.
Gary Terry ain't going nowhere.
But, hey,
who has it like we do?
Hey.
Nobody.
He can take that slogan with him anywhere.
Hook him.
It's on the side of the 18-wheeler, right?
It is, buddy. It is.
He can take it with him.
It is.
Hey, that truck ain't too big to cross that bridge.
No. I got a good picture with Coach Terry the other night. I was there last Saturday versus Carter. With Brad and BBB Communications and the OEB game of the week on Saturday. And, they are nobody. I've never seen anybody in high school ball have the entertainment that they do. And that's not just including their fireworks, right? And their bull that they run out of, and the fan, the atmosphere. They got the big screen. The band, their daggum band is amazing.
Looks like there's 200 kids in it.
The band is freaking amazing. I mean, they play the right.
Has been for 30 years.
The music, the
Jumbotron.
It's everything about it. Everything about Anderson County. Nobody matches it, period. I haven't seen one. If you know one, prove me wrong. I haven't seen one.
You know what else they do too is the youth. The kids, they let them run out with them. They let them hang out with them. They hang out in the barn with them. And then they go watch them play. Now that's their favorite player.
Man, I tell people that all the time. It's all about building this tradition, and it starts from the grassroots. They'll do a great job with those NAGAF Road Runners, who is a contender every year that we've been around. They move right on up to Norris. Norris is always a good program, and they funnel right on in there to Anderson County High School.
I think Norris Middle School has changed the high school.
I agree.
High school. And I'm not taking away with NAGAF, but I think that's.
I agree.
I think that's changed.
I agree.
Are you an official, sir?
Who, me? Yeah, I've got on a few officials before in my life. That's about the extent of it, man. But to go back to talk about the officials, just saying, I used to harp on it all the time.
I know. We did it for you.
You did it for me. I heard that, man. I know a coach a couple years ago called. ask me a question. I'm thinking about changing associations in football. I think I'll get a fairer shake if I change my association. And I said, Coach, you're making a mistake. Where you at? After it was over with, he said, I wish I'd listened to you because I made a mistake. So sometimes what you ask for is not what you think you're going to get, or it's any better, because it's not any better. So, as hard as it is to get officials, and I think everybody sitting at that table, plus myself, knows it's very hard to get officials. We're lucky to have what they got out there, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
That's right.
I mean, it's a hard job. I wouldn't do it, and I have spent many a Friday nights in the booth with Brad and Ron Berry and dogged 2 or 3 of them. Pretty hard. Even on the show afterwards, I've got on it. And I still know those guys today, and luckily, they ain't none of them ganged up on me to want to beat me up or anything. But it's a tough job. But you do have 2 or 3, unfortunately, that decide that they want to be more. They want to be seen more than what's going on the field. And I never went to a high school football or even a basketball game or anything that I wanted to watch the umpires or the officials do the game. I always wanted to see the football team play or the basketball team, whoever it was. And Cox, I agree with you 100%. All you got to do is talk for him and let him be out that game and the next game, and that next game to be very important. And look right now, and I'm not saying anything would have changed. So I'm not saying anything would have changed in the Powell and Anderson County.
1380 WYSH. W266 AM, W25D6, FM 101.1, FM 99.5.
First game this year, and that was against AC.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best player that they've got. That's probably the best player that they've got on the field over at Powell, or one of the best. He had to set that game. That's what that cost him. And when you do that, that's when you get their attention.
I'll tell you what would have changed is the score of the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's their best player on offense and defense.
Yeah, he's
good. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That kid gets tossed. He didn't say anything about getting tossed probably this year in August when it rolled around. They told you won't get to play. You won't get to play the first game. He probably didn't even realize that. Then again, he might have. I don't know the situation either way. But it probably hit him pretty hard when he had to stand over there. And you're right. If they would eject a few, and that play that you showed the highlight there of last week's game, there probably should have been somebody ejected on that. That right there should have been.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
And then I hear people calling, it's a rivalry game. No, that's Bush League.
And I buy that officials can miss calls because we're humans.
Exactly.
And humans make mistakes, okay? So there's, not everybody can be wrong on some of the things they call in and say and what they say. And you can tell Coach Gillum was frustrated, but I don't know that throwing all the flags tonight had anything to do with the score, because the score was 40-7. That game was out of control. I mean, that game was over with right at halftime, basically, up there tonight. It was probably could have been more than what it was, but it was 40-7. So, guys, here's what I'll tell you about Tennessee. Yeah, Mike Hendricks just called in a while ago, said he hopes the quarterback could maybe get on his blind side a little bit. Cox, you might know this. I don't know this. Is the 2 offensive linemen for Tennessee that's injured, do we know if they're playing Saturday or not?
I don't know. I've not got to see the injury report on that. I was actually looking a minute ago to try to find it because I was wondering. To tell you how important that left tackle is, David, when he went out last week, the line changed a full point.
I think he's out.
They said they couldn't give him enough time to throw the ball, run the ball, and they had to go to basic offense. If that's what they got tomorrow, if that's all they got tomorrow, if that's the best they'll be able to do, Tennessee's in for a rough game. I don't think Tennessee's going to lose that game, but they're in for the Arkansas game will be a little tougher than what we're anticipating. Not like something's really changed, because those 2 offensive linemen going out changed everything about that game.
Well, I don't know about the right side, but I think, and you probably have to fact check me, but I'm almost for sure that left tackle's out for this game coming up. It's next man up.
So
yeah,
I don't know. That's not a very good. If a left tackle's out, that's worrisome a little bit. For you got to have time to make those throws, and y'all know that. I don't have to tell you that. I'm just talking right now. But you got to have time to make those throws. And if you don't have time, did you notice, Cox, and all the other guys probably, if you watched the game, I'm sure you did, Tennessee's running game went down to, it went to almost nothing, it seemed like.
Yeah, it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
I still think it seemed like Josh was calling the game in the second half because he didn't, and I don't want to know if I would say play to lose, but he definitely knew his defense had control of the game.
Right. Yeah. I think that's going to be the difference, regardless of the offensive lineman there or not.
Thank goodness right now Tennessee's got a halfway decent defense, and they're playing pretty good. But hey, y'all know how that can go. You know, a player here and a player there, something happens, man. You're hurting a little bit. So I just think that's the key to the game tomorrow. Tennessee's offensive line don't block. I think Tennessee could be. I'm not saying they're going to lose the game. I think it'll be closer than what everybody thinks. I think everybody thinks Tennessee will roll down there because Arkansas has lost a few. And they'll roll them. And they very well might do that tomorrow.
I think Arkansas covers.
It'll be a tougher game.
What's the line?
13.5 last time I seen it.
Yeah, I don't know what I haven't seen the line, so I don't really know what it is. So,
but I also don't see Tennessee not scoring under 35 points either.
I mean, Arkansas and UAB was a close game.
Was it?
Oh yeah, I think it was like 37. Yeah, I mean it was in 10 points.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. I just think that Tennessee, Nico needs to play better football than he did against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Well, you got to look at the competition too. Oklahoma doesn't have bad defense. I mean, it's not a bad.
I mean, look at the defense.
They don't have a bad defense.
The head coach.
Look at their offense looked a little better last week too with that freshman quarterback. Man, he's a talent right there. They've got something that's something that Tennessee will have to deal with, I guess. I don't know if he'll be on the schedule next year or not, but I don't know how that schedule's working right now. But I just think that's trouble next year, possibly for the thing. Hey, guys, did Jesse say tonight 150 teams are off next week?
Yep.
Yeah, and we looked, Brad was looking, sitting here before Jett walked in, and to be honest with you, the next week there's probably 120 to 130 off.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Five-Star needs to start pushing a overall off week.
Yeah.
An overall off week. And I'll tell you who it helps. It helps teams that get in a situation Oak Ridge's in where they got to take a bye week 2.
That is insane.
Yeah.
It helps teams that, and it don't, you know, the teams that have 2-week fall breaks, I mean, they can't have it.
Like Oak Ridge is out for 2 weeks.
They have 2 weeks.
Right.
It was cool, but it was like that.
Did y'all hear Coach Gillum say he gives his team the entire week off?
Yeah. And he did it last year.
We got the entire week off this week.
You wasn't going to be around your team for a week?
If I wasn't around my team for a full week during the middle of the season, I don't care what sport I'd play, and I'd be nervous wreck. I'm too much. I'm too much of a control freak.
That goes back to that camaraderie, the pride. It goes back to the jail, the sportsmanship that they have together, the bond. I mean, it's huge, man.
I mean, he said they'll basically, you know, if they play to December, they'll be back a week or 2 later, and they'll be already working out again.
Yeah, I mean, they're together, man.
So it just caught me off guard.
Yeah, they're together. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the man there sitting on the end wearing the purple better get things cleaned up before the big yellow jackets roll in there.
Yeah, I know that's right.
On the road there, about that 5 miles.
They better win that Whitwell game first.
Yeah.
Huh?
They better win that Whitwell game first.
Yeah, I forget what they're ranked
Yeah, I'm sure they're worried about that. They're really worried about that football game right now. That's probably, they're not even worried about that game.
We'll be ready come October 24th.
Man, that'd be the best ball game going that night, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a good, man. I enjoy the program.
Hey, buddy, take care.
All right.
Go Bobcats.
Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Cox. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Thirsty.
Yeah.
Was that Sleepy? Oh, yeah, buddy. There's some interest going on here.
I brought my cup. I don't have anything to put in it.
Yeah, I was going to bring it in there last week after that Oak Ridge game, but I didn't make it, and then you didn't make it either.
I was here after the Oak Ridge Clayton game.
I didn't see you on the TV.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had Cody sitting beside me.
I walked out.
Yeah, DJ went home. I had Jett and Cody. Jett was having to explain to Cody what he meant by a 12-pack.
So Sleep, I will tell you this. When I did tell the bill collector that I came by to pay it, it was still due, they still charged me interest, so you don't get out of that. You still owe interest on the Mountain Dew.
Jett's calling for a 12-pack.
I heard him go for double or nothing.
Double or nothing,
Last week, I don't remember you seeing you.
Yeah, I missed 2 weeks ago. I was in Virginia playing golf, but I was here last week. I actually went by and watched the Clinton Oak Ridge game. And
Okay, it was after the PAL. Well, I don't know. I was thinking you wasn't in there last week.
yeah, I understand. I love you, Sleepy. I'll get this cup full one day.
What was the regions you was talking about earlier? I missed all that. Is that for next year?
Well, we were just saying that, the regions, the 4A, the 5A, we were just talking about different regions and how, sometimes they're more competitive than others. And, my biggest thing is I would like to see a success rate go into place for the private or the public schools. The private school large division is going to a success rate because they don't have enough teams necessarily volunteer to play in the NBA, Macaulay, the Baylor. So if it's a 12-team league, if they only have 10 teams in that league, normally you would go by the enrollment next. Right. That would be what you go by. Well, now they're going to go by enrollment plus success rate, which moves CPA into that large division next year for football. I always thought I like how, and somebody would say, well, you don't know anything about it, but I like how Georgia does their divisions. You win 2 straight championships. The next time they do reclassification, you automatically get bumped 1 division. And I like how they do that. I think South Pittsburgh's won plenty of state championships in single A. Go play 2A.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you're playing Alcoa in a championship. Wow. I mean, that brings more interest. That moves the needle more for me.
Right.
Alcoa wins a couple. They're bumping up. Now they're playing better competition, maybe in a championship game.
But then, let me see if I word this right. If they don't win one for 10 years, do they bump back down? Or
so the rule in Georgia, I'm pretty sure, is if you bump up and you win 2 more, you bump up again.
Oh, wow.
If you do not win one for a 2-year cycle or a 4-year, I can't remember if they do 2-year or 4-year, and I think they used to do 2 and then bumped it to 4.
Right.
So then you stay there, and then you would be bumped back down.
Bumped back down.
But, private schools are calling it the CPA rule. Georgia people are calling it the Valdosta rule. You can look at it how you want to, but when you do that and you get bumped, football has a lot more repeat champions than any other sport.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
If you look at it.
Yeah.
So I just thought it'd be. I thought I'd like the success rate. If it works out in the privates, maybe they can do it in the publics eventually. But we were also talking how it just needs to go back to 5 classifications. That might cut some of the success rate plan out if you go back to 5 classifications.
Yeah.
I heard that Alcoa might first start them going to 4A. Of course, you hear that a lot over the years. They're going to move up, but they haven't.
They have never played up a division in the history of their football program.
No.
I got fact checked on that, and the guy called me back and said you were right.
No.
I got that information from a guy from Alcoa.
Yeah.
He said, Cox, I watch your show. We laugh about it. We have never, ever played up a classification from where we were supposed to play.
That's one of those entertainment things.
Yeah, we used to play them every year at Oliver Springs.
Yeah.
They were in our region.
Yeah.
I can tell you who don't want to bump up. It's Greenville, Anderson County, Elizabethan, and all those schools.
I bet so.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I heard that Clinton probably going to, they got an option, I think. Enrollment's going to be down projected, and they could be 4A, but they may elect to stay in 5A.
That's going to make the news,
based on the competition.
I don't know that it gets any easier going up 4A.
No, that's what he's saying. There might stay 5 because 4 now.
It's going to be just tougher.
Yeah,
I mean, actually, it's going to be tougher.
Yeah.
Would
in
you?
This area.
Yeah. Oak Ridge or Anderson County. You know, that's what you're picking from there. And then the rest of it is Carnes, Campbell County,
Lenoir
City versus equally as bad Seymour, Carter, South Dole, Gibbs, Fulton.
Which Gibbs is on fire this year.
Gibbs is on fire this year.
Yes, they are.
So either way you go, you're going to be top loaded, and then yeah. I think if I was 4A and I was Clinton, I would always go 4A. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Now, because you don't know what the regions are going to flip. If that region flips and you've got West and Powell and Oak Ridge, those lines will be minus 28.
Either way you go there.
Yeah. So if you knew what your region was, you know, then it determines whether you're going to be 4A or 5A. But you don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, I think it was one of the falls of Fulton football was when they had to go when they went 5A because of money.
Yeah.
And they were going to be playing Granger and all those. And I felt like it's harder when you don't have kids that play both ways. Mm-hmm. And kids now want to be part of what? Winning.
That's right.
Yeah.
They don't care if the state championship ring has 1, 2, 3, or 4 A's on it. They want to win.
They want to win. That's right. Period.
I went to the game tonight, AC Clinton and Waylon LaRue. Boy, he killed. You know, that one run he had about 67 yards, I think it was. I mean, he avoided some tackles and he was off to the races. You know, he just couldn't catch him. He just took off.
Did you ask for your money back?
What's that?
Did you ask for your money back tonight?
I don't know.
He got in free.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he got in free.
But it's a good game. I mean, there's a lot of offense in there. Good plays. Both teams. Clinton had some drive. They just couldn't sustain them, you know, and go in and punch it in there a few times, and we got behind. But Anderson County, I thought that one series, they had some big plays. No, we just didn't make any plays. Clinton, I don't think. Anderson County made plays. And that one play where Hensley, they had him sacked twice, and he got through and threw it up to Small, and he made a juggling catch there a little bit. Things like that. And the next play, they threw one, they about kicked it off, and I think Evan Pike caught it. They hit him 2 or 3 times, didn't tackle him. He went down the sidelines and scored, you know. Little plays like that just didn't make the plays when we could have, you know.
Absolutely.
To get back in the game right there, that was, it's just Anderson County's a loaded team. I think they're good. I don't know if I'm going to say loaded, but good team. I don't know how you describe loaded, but you know what I mean. But I picked them for the year to win the state. I thought they could. Just coming into this year, this team, I think their line play.
Their line's big. They reloaded on the skill positions, and I think they got a chance. Sleepy, give me a score for tomorrow's game. We got somebody else that's been on hold for a while. Sorry you had to wait so long, but give us a score for tomorrow's game. We're going to bounce to the next caller.
It's going to be like 98, Tennessee 28, Arkansas 24. Go Big Orange.
Oh, there you go. See you, buddy. I'll come by and get my Mountain Dew.
All right.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
DJ, I've got to correct you there from your injury report. Tennessee is healthy going into tomorrow.
Oh, thank you,
Both
Cody.
tackles will be back.
Good deal.
Well,
say again?
Yeah, I heard that they will be dressed, but they will both be a game-time decision. I got the report. It says at least the list does not have Lance Hurd. Hopefully he is fully ready, but will be dressed, but possibly not play.
Wow.
And that's the left tackle, right?
Yeah.
It's left tackle.
Game time situation.
Yeah.
Don't like
As of 3 hours ago, from what I saw in the injury report, he's not on there. But like Cox said, that's liable to change 2 hours before game time.
Yeah.
So.
Did you go to the game tonight?
I did. Did you?
No, I did not go. I've done my one Oak Ridge game for the year, and
one too many if you ask me.
Hey, they finally won when I was there. Last time they played Clinton, they didn't win.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You're Clinton's good luck charm.
I'm 1-0 for Oak Ridge against Clinton.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, stay away from Oak Ridge.
I hear you. What are you calling about tonight?
Well, that was it. No, I just wanted to correct DJ. So, but keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, we appreciate you calling in.
Absolutely.
Go Wildcats.
Roll, Wildcats, roll.
And I know we're on college, but I didn't realize that draw could not have been any better for Oak Ridge. Did you hear us talking about that? Were you here yet? Their region?
I believe so.
Lenore City?
Yeah.
Clinton?
Yep.
Carnes. Campbell County.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the reason why I still say I think they still got 2 wins left. I mean, you sit here, I think Carnes is a win, and
I think they could beat
Lenore
Carnes.
City, maybe Lenore City.
Did they already beat Campbell County?
They already beat Campbell County. I think Lenore City's a harder win, but I think they can win Lenore City and Carnes.
And they could possibly beat Heritage. They're at the end of the season. Ain't that their last game?
Maybe.
I think. Yeah.
Well, Heritage is on the other side of that region. But,
right, but that's still another win, you know.
Still another win,
It's 5.
Yeah.
And
now, the Corns game, they ain't played Corns yet.
No. I got Clinton scheduled.
Corns is a sleeper. Like, they're not the best, but they're not a bad team.
Who was it that Corns played tonight?
I'm not sure. We'll find out. Who Corns played tonight?
They might have been off. Let me look. No, they played Northview. Yep. No, Carnes.
31-27.
Yeah.
31. So it was 2 good games tonight, and that was Corns versus.
I've got Carnes playing Powell tonight.
Yeah, it was something 38-0.
Yeah, they won 39.
Oh, so they. Oh, okay.
Oh, y'all asked about Carnes?
Yeah.
I've got Carnes playing Powell tonight and losing 38-0.
Yes,
well, you gotta expect that. You gotta expect that. Yeah, it's blowout Friday, by the way.
Blowout Friday.
Only 2 games was Oliver Springs and Farragut.
Yeah, and at one point in time it was 28-7 going in the fourth quarter.
You're right. Clinton could get in. If Clinton wins out, they go 5-5.
That's a good season for Clinton.
Oh, I think
When's
it's a
the
great
last time
season.
they had 5 wins besides the playoff run last year in the regular season?
Don't know. Sleepy text me the answer to that question. I don't know that I can go far enough back on. Oh, well, the year they had, yeah, that's easy. No, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. Let's say within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Beat them in the regular season and Anderson County beat them in the playoffs.
That's right. That would be the last time Clinton won more than 5 games was the year they beat AC in the regular season. So that was 23 years ago.
Hazelhurst. That's when Hazelhurst beat Oak Ridge 2 games that year.
They beat them twice in the same year?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was back-to-back years. Wow.
It might have been back-to-back years.
No,
I may have got that wrong. But Hazelhurst was a bad man.
Yeah, what year did he come through? What year would that be? It wasn't in 97.
I'm looking. It's got to be like 07, 06 sometimes.
Yeah, it was later on.
I don't know. That's too much research for me.
Yeah, it was later on. But anyway, we do have some highlights. I know we got to get into college football. It's getting late, and we still got callers calling. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out. Who is this? Oliver Springs Midway?
Yeah.
This roughing the passer?
No.
Bokey in. Okay. Happy birthday, Liam Bokey.
Yeah, is that you right there with your shirt off?
No. Could be at times.
I sent one more to the email. That'll be a good one. We definitely want to get that one. We got to get Grace's.
Yeah, it's a 90. So to set this up, It's 14-0, I think, at the time. It might have been 21-0. Austin East drives down the field. They have it first and goal from about the 5 or 6. They run it. It's 4th and goal from the 6-inch line. Gray stuffs them.
Oh, wow.
So instead of AE scoring, you know, and have a little bit of momentum, crowd, homecoming, they stop them. And if we can pull the video, backward pass to Terry on to Stiltner for a 99-yard touchdown pass.
Oh, and he missed the tackle.
And he missed the tackle.
My goodness. 8's not going to be happy about that.
And, I mean, you talking about a difference, and, I mean, a huge momentum swing right there, which is abnormal. This kid's getting ready to throw the ball to the official.
My.
It's a new day and age.
Wow.
So, anyway, well, guys, what is your all's thoughts? Score on will you be here next week?
No.
Okay.
I'll be in Whitwell.
Good. I thought you told me that, so I'm going to put you on
And then the next weekend will be.
I'm going to put you on the spot. You ain't getting out of here clean. All right? What do you think the score is for the Tennessee game?
35-14 Vols.
35-14 Vols. I'll say 31-17 Vols. What you got?
27-13 Vols.
Now here's the real question, because I won't get to see you. I need an Oliver Springs Cofield score.
Oh, do it. Do it. You want heart? You want?
I won't see him.
Do it.
He goes to Whitwell and then goes on fall break, right? I won't see you.
Yeah,
I
I'm
won't
gonna
see
say 34-14 Bobcats.
Dang.
34-14 Bobcats.
We get to think about it for a couple more weeks.
Now,
my boy's going on vacation, so I had to put him on the spot. I didn't want him going on fall break without any text messages.
Hey, now the phone's gonna go buzz, buzz, buzz.
Dang.
34-14.
I mean, I think we can.
I was gonna make the line at Oliver Springs minus 8.5 for you.
Yeah.
For a Mountain Dew, so you can give Sleepy a Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah, I got you Mountain Dew.
I tell you what, I'm glad you came in, Jett. DJ, we were wearing those phone lines have been wore out tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
It's been a good show.
Thanks you guys. Thanks for the
And maybe we can get a tweet out this week to send the highlights in and get some of that up. I know some of the quality's better than others. We stole some tweets from people and some of the coaches. Thanks for the Price Boys sending that video of the 99-yard backward pass touchdown.
That was nice.
I was leaving the game, and he was coming in from the press box. I said, dang, Coach, backward pass the end zone. He said, on Thursday, we work on certain things, and every year this year on Thursday, we have thrown that backwards pass from the end zone up the sideline for a halfback pass. He said, so I thought, worst thing I'm going to do is give up 2 points here, and I don't know that I can run it out.
Right.
Man, he probably kind of knew he had that one under control when he first scored the first touchdown.
Yeah, that was,
Maybe that was a 42-0.
I thought it was a good idea. I mean, I thought about a Terrion, who was obviously a threat, you know.
And everybody's coming.
Everybody's going to go to him, and that was good. It's good coaching, man.
Tennessee Clinton has won more than 5 games one time in the last 10 years, and it was 2014. Couldn't click on the right year on Coach T. So, guys, thank you.
Yeah.
Fun show. A lot of calls.
Absolutely.
I got to be at a Super Bowl against Maryville tomorrow morning at 9:30. So,
I got to leave 8 in the morning. I got a game day invite with one of my sons. So actually, both of my sons have a game day invite. One's going to ETSU. One's going to Tennessee Tech. So
good.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to?
I'm going to ETSU.
Okay.
I'm going to ETSU.
All right. I was going to tell you to go to Ralph's Donuts if you went to Cookville, but I don't know where to go in Johnson City. So
3-hour drive, baby.
Guys, good luck next week in Whitwell. I know we won't see you. I appreciate that. Next week, OEB Law Game of the Week will be Rockwood at Harriman. I think that's an interesting matchup.
That game right there tells you who's third and who's fourth.
That's right.
I believe that tonight with Midway losing to us, and now they've lost to Cofield and they've lost to Rockwood, I believe they're going to push out.
Who's playing for first and second?
That would be Cofield.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going for the Blue Devils in this one right here. I think Rockwood's going to put on a great game, great show. They have an amazing running back, super athlete. They're turning to have an amazing quarterback who's a freshman. And so I think they're going to turn some heads for sure. But I think Grayson Craze goes crazy. He puts up 200 yards again like he's been doing. Grayson Craze in 5 weeks has already over 1,000 yards. So we're in week 6 now, I believe.
I was very surprised at Harriman scored tonight, though. Tellico Plains.
And to lose to him.
14-6.
Yeah, that's tough.
6 points.
That's
and
tough.
I'm not taking nothing away from Harriman, what you were saying about Grayson. He's phenomenal.
He is.
But that was, I kind of like to see if I can't get that.
Well, I got Harriman coming in on my show coming here this Wednesday, so I have Grayson Craze, hopefully Cam Anderson to come in, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but
Landon Hart.
It's not Landon Hart. It is their leading tackler on the team, senior. His name is I can't get it out. Anyway, they'll be on my show, so go Blue Devils. Big fan of Rockwood and what they're doing out there, though. But I think Grayson Craze goes crazy, and I also think Cam Anderson has a crazy game as well.
Is that not the oldest robbery?
Yeah.
In the state's oldest robbery?
It is.
How many is that now,
Longest
Brad?
running.
Do you know the number?
118. Oh, 106.
Sounds good. Guys, thank you for everything. It's been a great show. Free Medical Clinic, thank you for all you do. We didn't get a ton of commercials tonight, but a ton of calls, and thanks for watching. And
Zach Mahoney is the other guy.
Zach Mahoney.
Zach Mahoney from Harriman's coming
We've been
in.
told we have 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Be safe. We'll see you next Friday.
1 in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's 1 person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood